Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for joining us in this year's Global Summit. This is your lead community investor, community investor, Jaffa Jeff. Thank you very much. We are going to start pretty very soon, so I crave your indulgence to bear with us. We are 17 or about 20, almost 20 on the call right now. So we will allow 5 more minutes, and then we are going to kickstart our summit for the year 2025. So thank you very much for your patience. Thank you. We thank you, thank you for your patience. Thank you so very much. And I hope we are going to have very fruitful summit for the year 2025 and brainstorm and look ahead of 2026 and see how we could be able to strategize on how we will build resilient portfolios to build wealth going into the year 2026 and beyond. Thank you. So hold on, don't go away, or you may take a stretch or grab a cup of coffee. We're all in here today, and I promise it's going to be very, very exciting and very, very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Fantastically interesting, I promise. All right. So we'll hold on for 5 minutes or 4 more minutes, beg your pardon. The next 4 minutes, we are back and about to start. We will have up to maybe 40 members on the call, and then we'll be good to go. All right, thank you. So stay put. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. We are here to commence our 2025 Global Retail Investor Summit. Um, Reaching out to you live from the United Kingdom, London. And I wanted to say a very big welcome to every one of you who have committed your time to be here today. You have taken the first bold step ahead of 2026. And I cross my chest to promise you that this very step you are taking today is going to be highly rewarding. Professor Jaffe Jeff is my name, and I am the community lead investor. As you all know, within our community, the Stock Diary London Investors Community. So it's a charity, it's a voluntary organization that we build and set up to democratize access to the capital market, to wealth making via the instrument or the platform of the capital market. And for the past 2 years, we've been running. Today mark the year 2 and our second year Global Investor, Retail Investor Summit. And I promise and I believe strongly that it's only going to get better. I want to believe that everybody is listening to me. If you're listening to me and you have a chat, you can interact with me at the chat for now, or you can signal or drop, a clap. I could see that you are listening and I'm loud and clear. Yeah, I could see Ambrose. Thank you very much. Loud and clear. So I want to be sure that I'm really loud and clear to everybody so that nobody will be left out or nobody will miss out. Yeah. So we have chat. We could have conversations in the chats. Yeah. Yeah. Can hear me loud and clear. Beautiful. Great. So that's great that you could hear me loud and clear. All right, fantastic. All right, so I'm going to share my screen right now. And in my screen, what I'm going to do basically is to display the agenda. Just we're going to have a brief agenda that we're going to follow. We are time pressed and we are going to keep to that time. All right, because we are investors and we know the importance of time. Time is of essence here. So we're not going to waste your time, but it's going to be very engaging and I promise you, going to be very powerful event, an investment event that you have never attended before. All right, because of the impact. So it's going to be very impactful. Okay, so this is our agenda that we aim to cover today. And you can do me well by hitting me a like if you could see my screen. You see my screen? Yeah. Great. So Global Retail Investors Summit 2025. So welcome to the Summit 2025. It is interesting to be here again. We started last year, December, and today, the year 2026, we are here. We want to thank God for the progress we have made collectively as a community. And I want to especially thank every one of you who have been part of the community, supporting the new members who joined the community, not knowing where to start. You have all been supportive and wonderful. So I really want to appreciate your support and your commitment to the cause of this community. We are all in for a charitable cause. It is a charity. We are not in to make money or to make profit, but we are in to pursue an idea we started 2 years ago while walking on the streets of London and thinking about finance. I thought that finance should not be made a court, all right? It should not be like a court where only people who have knowledge of finance can gain access to the global wealth, which is a capital market, and make money off it or make money or build wealth from the capital market. Everybody who has the desire and who is willing to commit their own seed capital, no matter how small that seed capital is, should be able to tap into the global wealth, which is the global stock market, wherever they are, to make money, all right, from the capital market. That is the funding philosophy that the Stock Diary London is funded upon. And for the past 2 years, we have been able to execute this philosophy excellently well, and we hope to continue to execute it for the years coming ahead. I also want to say that investing is risky, and we have seen the risk. For those of us who have been in the market, we have seen the risk. We saw the risk, especially the recent market volatilities in the United States of America. That's the biggest capital market in the world. And then Nigeria, you can see that a lot of stocks shedded their gains. And many of us, our positions have turned that we thought could be short position that will give us a profit, tend to be a kind of long positions because we are sitting in red and losses. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to assure you that that is part of the learning curve. As an investor, you have to broaden your mind, embrace the challenges that come with this investment, investing in stock, which is volatilities. Market are never stable. Markets go up. Markets go up and down. And that is why it is important that we should understand and we should equip our members about the psychology of an investor. And actually, it is the theme of this year's Global Investor Summit. The theme of this year's Global Investor Summit is investor psychology. All right? Investor psychology, managing fear and market corrections. So that is what we are going to be dealing with. All right? And also, we have very good news for you. For the past 2 years, we have been trying to see how we could get partnership with leading investment bank in Nigeria so that we will be able to come together and ask for certain benefits, all right, within the Nigerian capital market, courtesy of our contractual agreement or memorandum of understanding with a leading player in the space. And I'm happy to unveil to you today our investment banking partner, all right? It's no any other but AfriVest. Ladies and gentlemen, AfriVest is our investment partner. So AfriVest Securities Limited is one of the foremost leading investment bank in Nigeria. There is no deal that happens in Nigeria capital market that AfriVest is not represented on the table. Whether it is Dangote Refinery IPO, whether whatever deal that has to do with the capital market, AfriVest is actively one of the pioneers of such deals. So I want to believe that AfriVest representative is going to make a presentation to share their experience and walk us through their app. All right, their investment app is very, very fantastic, very, very interesting, and very, very user friendly. And we will be moving to that investment app officially as a community. All right. So transition arrangements, he's also going to answer your questions about transition arrangement on how to move your portfolio from a Bamboo app to AfriVest app. All right. And then, so there's so many benefits, ladies and gentlemen. We can't wait to hear from Ambrose Mabuchi. Ambrose is Assistant Vice President at AfriVest Securities. He's here with us on the call. Thank you, Ambrose, and welcome. And on the thirdly, I'm going to make the last presentation, which is about thematic investing strategy for 2026, whereby I'll be unveiling, ladies and gentlemen, what is going to make millionaires in the 2026 among our community. All right, millionaires, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not bragging. But this thematic investment strategy that I'm going to unveil here today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not bragging, but it's going to turn around people's finances, community members' finances, as long as you are willing to close your eyes and make the jump with me. Yeah. Thank you so very much. And then we'll look at question and answers. So without wasting your time, we are going to go straight into our first presentation. Our first presentation, which is, sorry, I want to be pretty sure that I'm being recorded. I don't want to blow blank without recording, being sure that the meeting is being recorded. Very critical for us, very, very important for us. All right. Oh, mouse. Stop sharing. Yeah, stop sharing. Recording. I really want to be sure I'm recording. Sure. I'm recording. Okay, I'm recording. That's beautiful. Because it's asking me to stop recording. So I'm not going to stop. Let me stop recording and then start recording. Stop recording and transcript. No, I want to continue recording. I'm just afraid. Recording and transcriptions started automatically per the meeting organizer. Fantastic. Fabulous. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's recording because I set up the meeting to record from the way go. So it's recording automatically. So that's fabulous. That's fabulous. It's recording. All right. So first presentation, let's start. Investor psychology. I'm going to share my screen, so please do let me know if you could see my screen. Let me know that, yeah, you could see it. So I'm going to share my screen again. So do give me a thumbs up, a clap. Fabulous, fabulous. You can see my screen. Fabulous. All right, you could see my screen. Fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, I am going to set the stage, all right? Set the ball rolling by making a presentation about one of the most important issues in behavioral finance, all right, which is psychology, the psychology of fear and market correction, investor psychology of fear and market correction. So by the way, Professor Jaffe Jeff is my name. I'm the founder and the lead investor, community investor at Stock Diary London. In this presentation, I aim to achieve three things, three objectives. Number one, I want you to understand how market fear shapes investors' behavior during corrections. All right? Understand corrections, understand how this thing shapes our behavior, changes behavior, makes investors to behave erratically, irrationally, made them to change their mind and start behaving irrationally against their interests. All right? I want you to have that understanding. It's very important. Number two objective I want us to understand is to how fear can turn a normal correction into an overreaction. So every market must correct. And I want us to know what is market correction today. What is market correction in the capital market? There must be market correction. All right? So when it happens, it shouldn't be a problem because you are already armed with the knowledge that nothing goes up forever. Everything that goes up must come down. Therefore, the stock market, obeys this law of gravity. It goes up, get to a certain point, and must come down. So during that must come down is what we call market correction. So it is a normal thing, but because of fear, investors usually capitulate during this normal occurrence in the capital market and make mistakes, lose money, and exacerbate or worsen the situation. All right. Then number 3 is I want to teach you how to use some practical tools to measure market fear. Okay. There are tools that I want to introduce us to because we need to use these tools to measure market fears. You measure how fearful are the investors because it is a fear that brings the market down. So if you can measure and gauge how fearful are the investors at any point in time in your trading and investing journey, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be better prepared and you will reposition your portfolio accordingly because you will know that the market is going to come down. All right. So these are the 3 things that I want us to achieve today in this training. So I want to start with market correction. What is market correction? So market correction is a decline in the stock market. The stock market starts its journey from down to up. And when it gets to up, it must come down. That decline or coming down is called market correction. And that coming down is usually 10 to 20%, ladies and gentlemen. All right? 10 to 20% is what a normal market correction is. A decline should be. If it is more than 10 to 20%, then it is not a decline. It becomes a bear market. That's a bear what? Market. So in a bear market, it's a hopeless situation. It is a situation that will last for long. After it comes down more than 20%, maybe it comes down 30%, or it comes down 40%, then nobody knows when it will go up again. That situation is called bear market. That is B-E-A-R, bear market. All right. But that is what you should fear. You shouldn't fear market correction. Market correction is normal. It is 10 to 20% of the index, the market index. I want to believe that we know what market index is. And if we don't know what market index is, market index, I will show you. I'm going to show you very soon what market index is. All right. So market index basically is just a measure, a number that measures the performance of the entire, all the companies listed on a particular stock market. For example, every stock market has its own index. The US market has its own index called the S&P 500. We're going to look at it here. S&P 500 is the index for the US market. Okay, great. That is S&P 500. It's for US market. Nigerian stock market has what is called the all share index. That is the number that measures how well the Nigerian stock market, all the companies listed on Nigerian stock market, there are about 2,000 companies listed on Nigerian stock market. Okay, Dangote, MTN, mention it, 2,000. So all of these companies put together are being represented by a single number. That single number is called market index. So that market index tells you how well the market is performing. Whether the market is going up or the market is going down, the market index speaks all of that, meaning to you as an investor. All right. So when we say market is correcting, ladies and gentlemen, is the market index. That number that we're talking about is the market index that we are focusing on, because market index gives us a total picture of the overall capital market. Is that clear? So any correction between 10 to 20% or any decline in the market index, I can begin to use the language now, market index. Any decline in the market index of 10 to 20% is normal. It is not a bear market. Therefore, you should not be afraid of it. All right? You shouldn't be afraid of it. But any correction greater than 20%, ladies and gentlemen, it becomes a different thing, a market crash, and it is called bear market. Bear market. So I'm emphasizing the difference, correction versus bear market. Correction is less than 20%, to between 10 to 20% decline in the market index. While the bear market is greater than 20%. Any decline in the market index that is above 20% becomes a disorder, an abnormality, and a problem that may exist for some time, for maybe the whole year or whole 6 months. It will not rise up again until there's a certain structural changes or adjustment in the overall economy before the market goes up again. So it's very important that we should know this. Okay. So market correction is a healthy thing. That's the message I want you to take home today. Know the number, the percentage that a fall will be, and it will be normal. All right. 10 to 20% is normal, and you should not panic. Even if the whole world is panicking, you should not panic. You should be very confident in what you are saying and what you are doing, and do not change your strategy because of a correction. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to turbocharge your strategy during corrections. What you will do is that you turbocharge your strategy. You are not changing anything. You are not dumping anything. You are turbocharging and taking advantage of the fears of others who don't understand what you are learning here today. This is psychology of investment, psychology of an investor. It's not a street language. It's not a street knowledge. So you can't get it on the street. So many investors who just join investing, even some old investors, don't still understand the psychology because they are not used to the finance theory side of things. They just know how to do some technical chart analysis, but the theory underpinning the behavior that drive that chart, they have no knowledge about. Okay, so they might not know. All right, so fears. So fear basically comes from your response. All right, because we need to know what is fear, because people do fear. So fear comes from you're trying to respond to survive. You see that you bought Nvidia at 182 and Nvidia started crashing, and then you see bad news. Oh, Google is producing what you call chips that could compete or replace Nvidia chips. Oh, Google is signing an agreement with Meta so that Meta will start using Google chips. These kind of headlines did not send fear into the market. Bad news, investor will not start shaking and selling off Nvidia stocks. That is not a bear market. That is not going to last. That kind of reaction by investors because of the perceived threat is not going to last. It's just going to be temporary. All right. I saw on the community now somebody had posted that Nvidia stock has started going up already. You notice that started going up. I just laughed. I said it was simply a investor psychology that pushed that stock to 170, right? But it's back to 182 already today. And it's heading to 220. That's where Nvidia, or 240. That's where Nvidia is heading to. So if you have this knowledge that this is just a temporary thing and it must happen, if you don't want it to happen, then this conference is not for you. Investing in stock is not for you. Maybe you need to be a fixed income investor or a bond investor where there is so-called zero risk. I call it so-called risk-free because even in bond, there's risk. There's credit default risk. The company that issued that bond can go broke, and you will not get a dime out of that money that you have invested in that bond. Or a government, even government can go broke. For example, we have seen Greece government went broke. Yeah, we have seen many European bond crises where the government could not pay back the bonds. We even seen some government bonds in Ghana. Ghana also defaulted on government bonds. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's risk everywhere. Life is about risk, and there's risk everywhere. Whatever you want to do, there is risk. So, the only thing you need to do is to deepen your knowledge about what is the true risk. I think that is what you should be asking yourself. What is actually the true risk? Because the wealth that we're all seeking to acquire is in that risk. Wealth is not in the garden, it's in the risk. And we must know and understand what is true risk. All right. So fears is not risk. Emotions is in the market is not risk. It's basically a temporary situation that causes prices to fall. And when prices are falling, investors begin to fear the more and they begin to sell the more. And as they sell the more, the prices begin to fall. But as I told you, this fall in price is not going to be more than 20%, maximum 20% of the market index. All right. That's what is going to be the fall in price. Yeah, look at S&P 500. This is S&P 500. I want to show you, share some episodes of correction in S&P 500 with us. Okay. So these are some of the episodes in correction during the year 2025. Do you remember this? Can you see this red point where my cursor is hovering? Who can remember this? This was sometime around April. There was a steep correction. This is the only time that the correction actually met the definition of market correction in the whole of the year 2025. So if you look at it, the S&P 500 started the year here and moved and got to the peak here, all right, in March 2025. All right, started the year here below 6,000. So remember the index. I've already told us everybody knows the meaning of index except people who are new to our community or who are our guests and who joined late after I have explained what our index is, because we all know what market index is. So it's just a number that represents all the stocks listed, all the companies listed on that stock market. For example, S&P, the US stock market, is represented by S&P 500. So S&P 500 is a single number that tells us this full story of all the companies listed on the US stock market. There are about 27,000 companies listed on the US stock market. All right. These 27,000 companies are being added together and represented by a single number. That single number is called market index. And in the US, the leading index is called S&P 500. There are other indexes, but the leading one in the whole world is S&P 500. So S&P 500 started the year with about 5,800 in January. And then it moved here and got to the peak of about 6,200, there about 6,200. That was a peak, the all-time high, because in the history of the world, S&P 500 has never got to this peak. So as I told you, when the market goes up and goes up, it must come down. And it started coming down. It came down, it took a breather here, and then came down and corrected normally in April. So in April, around April 10, there was a heavy correction. This correction is simply investors' fear. When they see other people are selling, they will have to sell. I'm going to let us know the behavioral patterns that investors exhibit during this season, so that when you see it happening, you will know the theory behind it. You will know the scientific theories behind this behavior, and you will not be moved. I also show you the gauge that you can use to gauge this behavior, so that before if you wake up every day, you can check that gauge as an investor. It's a good practice. Check the gauge. Check the fear gauge and see how much is gauging. And I will teach you how to read it. And ladies and gentlemen, after the correction, what happens? It corrected back to $5,000. And from $5,000, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are as at today. S&P 500 has hit 6,800 today as we're speaking. 6,800, about 6,800 as at yesterday. So this is a market that corrected and lost over 10% in April. And fast forward in December, ladies and gentlemen, the market is back here. If you remember, this is what many of us have suffered recently. Can you see this trough? This is S&P 500. Our portfolios are in red. This is what caused it. Look at it here. But it's not even a correction. It's just a normal, I will call it rattling. It's just a normal shaking or normal vibration, market vibration. It's my own term. So you can begin to use it that this one is a normal. So you say, oh, it's Professor Jeff coinage, market vibration, right? So this is market vibration according to Professor Jeff. So market vibration happened in November, which many of us are in red due to that vibration. We cannot call this market correction because it's not up to 10%. Look at 10% here. Look at 10% correction from here down to here, 10% correction. That's a true correction. But here, is this up to 10%? No, it's not even up to 5%, isn't it? This is just about maybe 3.5% thereabout. Yeah, because you need like 3 times of this to get this, the length from here to here. You need like times 3 of this to get this rent, isn't it? So from here to here, the market only corrected. Oh, sorry, the market vibrated. So according to Professor Jeff, this is market vibration. It just vibrated. It never corrected. And we are in red. But we need to be confident. Okay. So this is S&P 500 as of yesterday. I pull out the chart as of yesterday. Look at it. $6,827. That is the number right now as of yesterday. Okay. But that was a market that corrected down to 5,000. Look at it here. So from 5,000 up to 6,800. All right. And then the vibration that happened last month in November, November or early December, or late November, early December, this vibration. Here you go. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So now I want to let you know the behavioral finance side of it. Sorry, I hope I'm not making you financial professors, but you need to know, because when you know this and Professor Jeff is conversing with you in the community, you'll be more confident and convinced. And one thing about wealth building is about confidence and conviction. When people are afraid, but you are courageous enough to say, I know what I'm doing. It's just a vibration. This is a correction. I've seen it. I know people are going to behave like this. I'm not going to follow them behave the same. That is what gives people breakthrough in wealth building in the capital market. All right. So what are the attitudes? I just want to introduce you to some of the behavioral attitudes that investors around the world exhibit. And this attitude has significant implications on the market. Number one attitude is called loss aversion. Loss aversion. So loss aversion means that people dread of losses twice bigger than profit. All right. People are afraid of losses times 2x, more afraid of losses than they rejoice when they make profit. I want to be sure we are still in. Let me minimize and interact with us quickly to see. I'm going to stop sharing and have an interaction on the chat. Can we have a chat, please? A thought on what we have discussed so far. Just say something. You could say something on S&P 500, that number. You could say something on fear. What you think is fear? Another word for fear. You could say something on market correction. Just chat me. I'm chatting you. I'm saying market vibration. Market vibration is not correction. Say something. It's not correction. That's what I say. You say something based on the conversation we have had so far. So I've said something. Do you see what I've chatted? Can everybody see my chat? Okay, ask your question. That's fantastic. Yeah. Or what have you asked your question? All right. If you have a question, just ask the question quickly and we'll move. All right. So you could see what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So we are saying very deep, important things because they will drive your result, the result you're going to get. the outcome you get in the 2026 is going to be driven by your knowledge of, you're moving away from just surface investor or trader into a deep things, so that you are like reading people's behavior in the market and reading the chart and seeing how that behavior is showing on the charts or on prices. Yeah. So when you do that, you are moving to the next level in your investing life. Okay. Okay. As an investor, market vibrations and corrections in S&P 500, often fueled by fear from economic data or global events, present buying opportunities. That's great. Yeah, present buying opportunities, as these 10% plus pullbacks historically resolve quickly without. Yes, that's a good one. That's it. They resolve. They get corrected back, and they correct back quickly. Okay, when it drops, it's going back and it goes back very fast. It doesn't wait for us to calculate, because we are afraid and calculate, you know. So if the market dips beyond 20%, then it becomes a bear market. And I'm afraid if it becomes a bear market, we now have to change our investing strategy from short term, all right, to long term. Is that clear? You have to reprogram. If you say, okay, I just need to invest this fund for 6 months, then you need to begin to say this fund has to be invested for 1 year. That should be that's the best way to respond to it. That's number one way to respond. Number two is to, if you know that you really need cash and you have put in the whole cash, then you can pull out some cash from the market, maybe by selling 25% of your portfolio, so that you will not starve or you will not be harassed due to your commitment to the market. All right, you will get cash to fall back, because a bear market lasts for long. It lasts for 1 year, sometimes more than 6 months to 1 year to 2 years. That's how a bear market lasts. So you need to know that. It's very important. Okay. Yeah, you need to know that bear markets last for long. Yeah, when others are selling and yeah, buying. All right. So thank you very much. I love that understanding. I love that understanding. So, Prof, what will you say about, so the record that corrected? Okay, please pay attention to that record that corrected down to 40% or so. Now that stock, that record stock that corrected more than 40%, and what it does is that stock, it offers us buying opportunities. You see, when we buy, that is if we have the funding. If we have the funding, two things: we will buy more and lower our entry price. Because if you buy more at 40% lower, cheaper, the app will recalculate. Your investment broker through the app will recalculate your average cost. And your average cost, for example, you bought before at $3 or 2.5 or $2.9. When it drops down to 1.8 and you bought at 1.8, your total average cost for each share now will be recalculated and will become cheaper to maybe, like, say, $2 or $2.5. So your chances of making profit now get boosted. So you could make profit faster when the market pick up. So that is what should happen. Or if you don't have the funding because you have used all of your capital to buy, then you have to be patient. You have to be patient, especially when you check and you confirm that it's a correction. It is not a bear market. That should give you confidence, right? It should give you confidence, because this correction that I have just shown you that happened, this very correction, let me share back my screen. This very correction that happened, which I just shared with you, this correction in May, in April, this correction, ladies and gentlemen, this correction really caused problem even for experienced investors like myself. All right, this correction, because I'm going to tell you, nobody is immune to fear. All right, the only thing that makes the difference is the knowledge that you are acquiring here today. That is what makes the difference. Everybody. So and also, you will be constrained to make some decisions during this fear season because of the portfolio or because of the capital nature of the capital and the investment objective you are managing. you could make those decisions that are bad. But if you had not made those decisions, you have made the right decisions in this season, you would have transformed the lives of those who maybe I'm a portfolio manager, we manage funds on behalf of people, would have changed their history or their financial life probably hugely this year if we had not. But that fear came with a lot of repercussions, and everybody was afraid. But it's because fear is normal. I'm not saying you should not fear, but after fearing, don't act out of fear. Don't take decision from that fear. Step back from your computer or from your app or from the system. Step back and think about what you are learning here today. Maybe you step back and go and measure the gauge. Step back and measure, take some numbers. Go to S&P 500. It's free. You can get it here on investing in what you call Trading View offers it for free. I introduced you to Trading View last year in last year conference. TradingView.com offers you access to this chart for free. Go on TradingView and check and look at the depth. How deep is this correction? Is it more than 10%? Is it more than 10 to 20%? That is when you should know there's real trouble. But if you can take the measurement and see that this is not more than 20%, then you should be very comfortable and you should change your strategy and go on to invest more. So loss aversion basically means the pain of fear, the pain of losing money is twice bigger than the joy that come when you make money from the stock market. So I want you to know that the pain of losing money, the hurt, and that pain that hurt comes with by losing money in the stock market is 2 times greater than the joy investors, human beings, receive when they make money from the stock market. So you need to know that there's what is called loss aversion. We call that loss aversion in behavioral finance. And then there is another behavior called herding. Ladies and gentlemen, herding. 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 So herding means investors following other investors blindly. All right. They just follow other investors to take the actions that other investors are acting. When other investors are selling, they are selling. Everybody jumps to begin to sell. When other investors are buying, everybody jumps and begins to buy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another behavior. It's a psychology that you need to know. When you see investors, just know that every investor, even Warren Buffett, suffers from these three. The third one is called availability and recency. Recency is another behavior of our brains not willing to let go the recent market crashes and bad experiences we have had. And that has created a fear in us. And that fear begin to hold us back or begin to influence our decision making about our investment. Even as we continue to invest, even though we're investing, we are still having the premonitions, the fears of the recent market crashes, the recent losses we suffered, the recent bad experience we had in the market. That behavior is called recency. Availability and recency. I call it recency. So recency behavior can hold an investor back. Now, the two recent events that investors remember and it makes them feel afraid is the COVID-19 crash in 2020, March 2020, and the 2008 global financial crisis. Okay, these are the two recent heaviest market crashes. So these came with fear, and investors are remembering this fear. And when they see a small vibration, they remember that, oh, another COVID-19 crash is coming because it is recent. So that's recency. The heading behavior. Once somebody starts selling, everybody started selling. The same thing happened to NVIDIA. One guy called Berry, is it Mike Berry? Mike Berry is a short seller. He was the one that announced on Twitter, on X, that NVIDIA and AI stocks should that he's selling his NVIDIA AI stocks. And because he has a very thick followership on Twitter. Many amateur investors who don't understand this psychology, this theory of finance, behavioral finance theory, they just followed him and started heading. That's what we call heading. All of them started selling Nvidia. That's what made Nvidia and many AI stock, like the record stock you have, which somebody asked question about. That is the cost of that decline in the price of that stock. So it is not a market, really a market correction, but a stock like that is more volatile, it's riskier. That is why if there's a small vibration and the S&P is vibrating, stocks like that can go down as 40% or 50%. Okay, so you need to know that. And that's what happened. It's a heading behavior from Michael Burry. Michael Burry is on Twitter. You might follow him. Check in on X and follow him. Yeah. So that when he posts his stuff, you will begin to look at it differently from the different knowledge-based position after this training. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Fear gauge. Thank you. I want to introduce you to fear gauge. The fear gauge is called VIX. VIX stands for volatility index. So I'll introduce you to VIX, and I want you as an investor to look at VIX every day. VIX is the Bible of every investor, or the Quran of every investor, or the religious books, whatever your faith is. VIX, volatility index, is like your daily reading. You must be reading. Just check. It's very easy to read. I'll show you. Don't worry. So volatility index is the fear gauge that we use to gauge market fear. How fearful are these investors becoming? All right. And it is expected that it's derived from the S&P 500. And you know, S&P 500 is the biggest stock market index in the whole world. It has the highest number of richest companies in the whole world. So it represents the global economy, so to say, in terms of capital market. So we derive this from S&P 500. How it is derived is beyond the scope of this class or this training. Just know that there is something called VIX. VIX means fear gauge. It's a gauge that I can use to measure how fearful investors are, because this is what determines whether market is going to correct or vibrate or not. And I'm going to teach you, and I will backtest it, and you will see it in this class, in this summit. All right. So when investors are calm, the VIX is a number. Please don't forget, VIX is just a number. I will show you the number. The number will be low. When investors are fearful, this number spikes sharply and becomes big. So a low VIX is preferred to a high VIX. A high VIX means investors are very fearful. The fear level in the market is very high. So I believe we know the full meaning of VIX, volatility index, VIX. All right. So a low VIX, I'm going to show you VIX now. This is VIX. So you can also find VIX on Yahoo Finance and Trading View. So this is my VIX graph. Look at it. It's a line chart for VIX. So VIX ranges between 10 to 100. So a VIX of 10, look at it, here is 10. It's very good for the market. It means there is no fear. Investors' behavior is normal. A VIX of 12 is also normal. A VIX of 20 is normal. A VIX of up to 25 is normal. But any VIX above 25 becomes abnormal, ladies and gentlemen. And a VIX of 80, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, there is trouble in the market, and the market is going to collapse and will collapse very heavily. There's going to be sell-off. So when did we have VIX of 80? Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the date in human history when the VIX became 80. Look at the date. It's in the year 2008. During that year, there was what we call the global financial crisis, 2008. The global financial crisis was the year when all the banks, the biggest banks in the world, became bankrupt. They were about to shut down because they run out of money. Imagine banks saying that we don't have money again to pay depositors. Depositors who deposited money with JP Morgan, with what do you call it? There was this biggest bank called, yeah, I'll remember it and let you know. But JP Morgan was there, Bank of America was there, all of the Lehman Brothers. Thank you very much. Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, did not have money to pay their withdrawals, their customers. If you are a customer of Lehman Brothers, like I'm a customer with JP Morgan Chase, right? JP Morgan Chase will just tell me that, sorry, there's no money again to pay me. It's my money. I deposited my money. I want to withdraw. I want to use my ATM card to pay for bees, to pay for coffee. And JP Morgan say, sorry, no funds, or the app does not work. The app is not work. The app is not working. The card is not working. And I run to the nearest branch in London, and they told me that, sorry, we are not allowing withdrawal. Withdrawals have been suspended. That's what also happened in this year 2008, and the VIX spiked to the highest level. All right, in 2008, look at it. The two highest level was 2008. The major banks in the world, the biggest investment bank, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they were all broke and bankrupt, going into bankruptcy. The American government had to print dollars and quickly bail out some of them, but they could not bail out Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers has to collapse. So this is the only time we had this kind of VIX in 2008. And then we had another spike. I'm going to show you during COVID-19 in the year 2020. Let me show you that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the COVID fear in 2020. Look at the VIX. There was another spike here. Look at it here. In the year 2020, can you see? VIX spike again to 80, ladies and gentlemen. So these are the only two recencies. So investors are living with these fears. So whenever they see the market vibrating, these fears are haunting investors. And that fear hunt is called recency in behavioral finance. And that's what I just introduced you to. So either investors are behaving in terms of recency, or investors are behaving in terms of headache, or investors are behaving in terms of fear, loss aversion. Thank you, loss aversion. So three behavioral patterns that whenever you see investors, they're either in one of these moods. So you should know that. So as you know that behavior, you are not worried. Okay. So recency, COVID-19 fear. Look at it, the VIX spike. Okay. So the VIX spike. So I will teach you how to read the VIX, and then we'll switch and check a live VIX, the recent VIX for today. What is VIX saying today? So VIX level is a VIX level of less than 15 is very brilliant. It shows a market sentiment. Investors are very relaxed, very calm. Nobody is worried. Nobody, in fact, it's like heaven in the market, isn't it? It's a heaven on earth experience in the stock market. When the VIX, when you wake up in the morning, check your VIX and it's reading 15%, below 15%, below 15. Ladies, that's a brilliant heaven on earth experience. If it is between 15 to 25, that is normal. It's a normal risk. No fears, just normal. Okay? But when VIX is above 25%, ladies and gentlemen, then it becomes fear. The market, investors are all afraid. It's either this usually happens after market has gone up and up and up, like what happened, and then market is about to correct. Okay, market is due for correction. Investors feel it in their veins, in their blood, in their heartbeat. They feel it. All right, they feel it. So they begin to fear. So this fear is measured by VIX, the gauge. You can gauge. You look at your VIX, you see what's going to happen. And when we get to this point, expect a market correction. So here, if VIX becomes greater than 40, like what happened during the global financial crisis 2008 and what happened during the COVID-19, ladies and gentlemen, that becomes a capitulation, panic. All right? That is what we call panic, capitulation, and ladies and gentlemen, but it offers us opportunity. Before we look at how we can respond, how do we respond? That's the next thing. All right, let us go and test this VIX and see what VIX is saying. All right, let's see what VIX is saying. So I want to switch on. Will we switch and see? Okay, I'll stop sharing And then I will share again. Yeah. So I want to show you VIX. I want to show you VIX. I want to use Trading View or Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance. All right, Yahoo Finance. So I'm going to Yahoo Finance. So I just put Yahoo Finance in Google. That's how to get access to it. And then I'll get into Yahoo Finance. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I will come here in the search and I'll type VIX, VIX. And I'll hit enter. It will search and bring it for me. So this is VIX. Ladies and gentlemen. So this is VIX. This is our dear VIX. This is our VIX. How much is VIX? Can we interact on the chat? Can you see my screen? Sorry, you cannot see my screen. Sorry. Let me share my screen. Thank you. I have to reshare my screen so that you could see and tell me what the VIX is and interpret it. Just interact with me by interpreting the VIX you are seeing here now. I've gone to Yahoo Finance. Sorry, let me start afresh again because you didn't know how I got here. You didn't see my screen. I thought you were seeing my screen. Sorry. So I know I'll go to Yahoo. I'll go to Google. I'll go on my Google. So enter Google. Can you see my screen now, please? Give me a thumbs up. You can see my screen so that nobody's left out. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Great, 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 great. Great. So I go to Google and then I type VIX. You know our friend VIX, VIX. Volatility Index, VIX. And I hit enter. All right. So it brought me VIX. I don't like that. Sorry. Please don't follow that approach. When you go to Google, I first go to Google. I'll start afresh. Google. I go to Google. And in Google, I go to Yahoo Finance. I just type Yahoo Finance US. Yahoo Finance inside Google. So Google brings me Yahoo Finance. And then I click on Yahoo Finance here. The first one that come, anyone Yahoo Finance is fine. So in Yahoo Finance has come. I believe you can see my screen. And then I go to the search. There's a search bar here. I click into this search. And here I type VIX, VIX. It will come. Look at it coming. I'll just pick this one. VIX, CBOE, Volatility Index. All right. This is VIX. Yeah. So you select VIX. And here is my VIX. So can you read the VIX and interpret it? What do you think is the fear mode in the market now? Is it very low? Is it low? Is it high? And is it capitulated or in capitulation mode? Just type, interact with me on the chat. I want it to be very interactive. Yeah, type, interpret this VIX. Look at the VIX is 14.9, below 15. What is your interpretation as an investor of this VIX? Yeah, let's go. What is your interpretation? Interpretation. Oh, heaven or earth. Thank you. So it's heaven or earth. Yeah. It's heaven or earth. It's not, it's calm and normal. Yeah. Very low. Yeah, I love that. Investors are calm. Yeah. So that is exactly where we are now. So did you have a relief now seeing the VIX? So that when Professor Jeff is saying, don't worry, you say, oh, I'm in red. I said, don't worry. You will know why Professor Jeff is telling you not to be worried. Okay? Yeah. It's very low. Very low. Yeah, thank you very much for your interaction. So that is our VIX. So let's move on. So how do we respond to it? How do we react to when we read a VIX and assuming we read our VIX and what we have seen in the VIX is not good. It's not really good. I'll stop sharing. I'll go back to my slides and then we share again. Okay, you read the VIX and what we saw, maybe the VIX is greater than 25. That is where you saw the VIX. The fear is elevated. It's getting elevated. I will reshare again. Don't worry. I know I have not shared yet. Yeah, I am sharing my screen again. All right. You can see my screen. Yeah, just hit me a like. I see my screen. Hit me a like. Hit me thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. All right, great. All right. So what is the strategy? Ladies and gentlemen, I have created a strategy for you, right? This is the strategy. So look at the VIX. This is the VIX. Also, look at VIX. VIX is in heaven, heaven on earth among investors. Now, that's what we have. Look at even yesterday, before market closed, everything became so normal. Yesterday, it was reading 17, up to 17, but today it has gone below even 15, which is heaven on earth. No fears, no worries. Everybody is at peace. Everybody believes they can make money, and everybody can make money and be worthy. That is the interpretation of the current VIX fear gauge we have seen right now. All right. So, how do we respond in case the VIX is high? You wake up, you saw the VIX, and the VIX is high at 30%. It is a fear regime. It means investors' fear is elevated. All right. So there definitely there's going to be a broad market correction. There will be a selling, massive selling by investors. But this is not insolvency. Okay. Companies are still healthy. They are still making money. But investors are just fearful and rattling. This man did kind of rattling or rattled. So what you need to do is that I have a strategy called equity buying strategy, mean reversion equity buying. All right. Mean reversion equity buying. So it is a strategy which says that when the market goes up and up and up, it must come down. And when it comes down, it rests and then it goes back. It must go back to where that up where it was before. It must go back to there. That process is called mean reversion in finance. Okay, mean reversion. So any stock, I'm talking about good stock, please. That is, I'm issuing a kind of caveat. It's a good stock, a good solid stock. For example, Nvidia. Nvidia corrected and went down to 170. And then we are all afraid. The fear in us told us that this thing will never go up again. I'm here to tell you that it is a lie. Because of this principle of mean reversion, Nvidia was up to $212 or $215, all right, just 2 months ago. Now it came down to $170 because of fear, all right, elevated VIX. The VIX went high. Now, my fear in me is going to tell me that this is the end of Nvidia. In fact, Nvidia is going to go down to zero or down to $10 per share. That is what fear tells me. That's a lie. That is falsehood. All right. Because of this principle, it's like a principle, or it's physics principle in finance. All right. It's like the law of motion in finance. So it's called mean reversion. Anything that goes up, 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 up will come down. And anything that comes down must go back up to where it was. So based on this strategy, you need to select some stocks and buy those stocks. Very good quality stocks. For example, Nvidia, Google, Oracle. Because we see that Oracle stock has come down, has lost over 40%. You can't tell me that Oracle stock is going back to $100. Oracle stock can never go down to $100. It can't even go down to $50. It can't go down to touch $100. It is rare. And I don't think it's possible because the company is sound. The company has robust, everything, fundamentals are intact. And investors have this knowledge about the soundness of the company's fundamentals. So they are coming back to buy that stock and take it back to about close to $400 where Oracle stock was. Is that clear? So we need to understand this principle. And when we understand this principle, so when you have the VIX, you check the VIX and VIX is greater than 30, you know that there is going to be fear. So what you have to do is that wait for that capitulation to happen. And when the capitulation happens, then come back and buy. You may pick the large stock, the large cap stock, the big companies like Google, Apple, because many of them would have lost a great deal. All right. Or you may pick another stock that is volatile and not among the biggest stocks. However, that stock has investors love. It's enjoying the love and investors. And I'm going to show you that stock. I'm not going to be picking these big stocks, all right, the large cap stock to implement this strategy. I'm backtesting this strategy with a stock that you have made money on in the community. I recommended it and we made up to 40%, 35% from that stock. All right, around November, October, we made that money on that stock. I want to show you that stock and show you how this vibration, what I call vibration, happened. I will show you by the chart. That stock lost over close to 50% during that vibration. And that stock pushed back to generate another profit of 70%. So this is the VIX during this vibration. Look at the VIX here. Let's be very practical here, not theoretical session. So look at your VIX here on November 20th. The VIX spiked to what? Look at it, 28, isn't it? VIX spiked to where this line is. I drew this line. Okay, I constructed this line, trend line, or horizontal line. The red horizontal line, right? 28%. 20% is greater than 25. Therefore, fear became elevated. And when fear is elevated, the S&P 500 and the entire market, there will be a sell-off. There will be either correction or vibration. All right? So let's look at this stock. This stock is called BBAI. Do you remember this stock? If you remember this stock, give me a thumbs up. BBAI. Big Bear AI. Stop. So look at what happened to BBAI on this same date. Look at it. The stock came down here. This is November, right? November 20th. It came down to the lowest on November 20th. All right. Many of us sold this stock and made profit at 8. We sold it here, right? Around 8. It even went to 9. But many of us, we exited at 8 something, isn't it? And made a profit of 35% during October. All right. October trading month. All right. We made 38% also. Now look at where this stock corrected because of the VIX. This high VIX of 28 pushed a correction. So whenever the VIX elevated, there's going to be market correction. The stock prices will start falling. So this stock, BBAI, obeyed the VIX, which is the fear, and fell from this height down to here. Look at it here. Fell down to here on this date, $5, right? And then this was within 10 days. So if you use our strategy and you came and pick it up from $5, all right, you are buying it here. You brought in $500,000 or $1 million and you bought everything here. You bought it here at $5. In 10 days time, ladies and gentlemen, look at the profit. It rose from $5 to $7.25. Look at it. And the profit on this trading strategy, you bought it at $5, you are selling at 7, you would have made 40%. You made 40%. I've tested it with real data. So it's not theory. This is called back testing. I back tested this, our strategy. Now, okay, how can we turn this fear into opportunity to bootstrap and turbocharge our wealth, grow your wealth in the midst of fear because you are not understand psychology of the market. So you have $500,000, you are not afraid because you know you have already read your VIX, you have gauged and measured the S&P 500, how much the correction happened, whether it is a big correction or vibration or it's a bear market, right? And you know that it's just ordinary vibration. It's not even a correction. So you have the confidence to come and pour in your $500,000 here and bought it here at $5 per share of BBAI. And in 10 days, ladies and gentlemen, from 20th of November, you just close your account. When you do this, you don't have to look at the app. Just close the app and go and sleep. Don't open it. Don't forget about it. In 10 days, you are up 40% in profit. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's the end of this session. Any question about this session? Thank you. So I will stop sharing my screen and so that we can take questions about this session. Okay, is there a VIX for Nigerian market? Unfortunately, no. I think that's what we should be thinking of doing as a community. But it's difficult. You know why it's difficult? It's difficult because VIX is the derivation of VIX is from the futures market, and Nigeria currently has no futures market. No futures and options market in Nigeria currently. That is an opportunity for our community. Okay, because the US option market is actually pioneered by a community too. It's called CBOE, Chicago Mercantile. So it was an aggregation of community members that came together and they floated, they worked with the Security and Exchange Commission and floated that. Okay, thank you. I'm glad it's enlightening. Good. Any question? No question. That means very clear. All right. So without wasting time, let's try and move on to our program. The next stage in our program, will we be taking a presentation from, we'll be taking a presentation from our partners, our community partners, AfriVest Securities Limited. They will be introducing their technology to us. So Ambrose works with the AfriVest. He is assistant vice president, yeah, at AfriVest, the investment banking that is our partner. All right. Yes, the recording is going to, you will get the recording in the community. All right. You get the recording in the community. We're going to make it available in the community. Yeah. Okay. So I want to hand over the floor to Ambrose. Ambrose is on the call. He will walk us through their app. All right, AfriVest 2.0. AfriVest 2.0 is a beautiful app. All right. So we are all going to migrate to that application. And so be ready to ask ask Ambrose the questions you have got to ask. Yeah. All right. Ambrose, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone can hear me clearly. Please, if you can hear me, just react, make a reaction, clap.
Yeah, let's give him a chat.
Wave your
Reaction,
hands,
clap.
and let me be sure that everybody can hear me. And let me know if I'm audible.
Audible from my end, loud and clear from my end.
So I think I'll have to share my screen now.
So somebody's asking what is the next strategy going into. That's the final presentation, and I'm glad that I will handle it. Okay. So stay tuned, stay connected, be patient. We're moving there. Okay. What's going to be our strategy going into 2026? All right.
So Prof, enable me so I can share my
let me
screen.
enable you to share your screen. Enable sharing. I enable your mic. Share. I'll stop my sharing. Okay. How do I enable instructions? So these ones, recoveries, your call. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, wait a minute. I'm trying to move around this technical issues. I got record meeting. Did you try sharing?
Yes, it's not activated from my end.
It's not activating from your end to share the screen.
Yes, and
Okay, let me go to
it's
more.
showing me only meeting organizers and presenter can share.
Can share.
Yes. So either you make me one of the presenters or one of the organizers. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I need to transfer. I saw it. I need to transfer to you. Assign. I can assign you. I saw it just now, and I'm surprised. The It's not in my advanced settings. Reaction. Please give me a second, please. Second, please. Let's do this. Oh, share with- I know it's supposed to be on your head. I can see your icon. So when I come to your head, I should see where I can give you that right. But I'm surprised I'm not getting, I'm not seeing the option among the three. Because I should be able to assign transfer to you here through 1 to 3 option. Disable my disable 1 2 3 1 2 3 mute no. I don't need you. Okay, let me go back to my share screen. It's not here in share screen. It's not. Video control. Okay, Ambrose is going to answer all these questions. Ambrose, there are questions already. How do we migrate? I think you can take the chat and begin to do that. Ambrose, while I sort out this screening issue, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
check the chat. Somebody is asking those common questions, frequently asked questions about migration.
Okay. So first for migration from whichever stock trading platform or securities firm that you want to move from is very, very easy process. However, we will need you also to follow us through the journey. First, you need to create a relationship or start a relationship with us. That means you need to download our Afro Investor 2.0 app from your Play Store or iOS, depending on the phone you are using. Once you download that and then follow through the process of creating an account. Once you are done creating an account with us, from our back end, we'll be able to know that yes, you have completed account creation, and at that means we will now have your email address. So we'll send you requirements, just few documents for you to sign, and then inform the house that you are moving from, okay, that you have initiated the transfer from us, and we also will follow up with the house and then communicate to them. In the market today, there's a platform where we will have to key in the names of the people, that want to move from so house to Afro Invest. And once we do that, we reach out to the firm that we are moving from. The firm works, so some of them will want to reach out to you, maybe to ask you why are you leaving or this or that. Okay. So once you are done with that, and you confirm to them that yes, you are the one that instruct us and you are moving your account to us, they should be able to, allow you to come to us. That's one. Another way is also if you maybe you don't have strong portfolio or you also want to take profit on your existing portfolio, so you can as well decide to sell off whatever you have with the firm, and then do a kind of funding, move the funds to us, by funding your wallet. And once that is done, you also position yourself for another set of stock, or you can as well repeat on the ones you have sold, depending on the time of the market and then your personal strategy. So it's a two-way thing. One, you can decide to sell all your stock and then move the money to us and then begin to buy from our app, or you can also inform them and then we will let you know so that you can inform them, or they will reach out to you for them to move your stock position to us. Maximum, once we get the good response from you and from the firm, 72 hours or 4 days should be enough for that migration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that insight about response to that question. So I have got a way which is to transfer control to you. And I think I've done that transfer of control, but it looks like it's my screen. If I do that control transfer, it's my screen. It's my screen that you can actually take over and you will be sharing.
Because one of the things I really wanted to share my screen is such that beyond my presentation, we will try to log into the app,
Exactly.
and
That's
then
what we want.
demonstrate it. So if I'm to just send my presentation slides to you, for you to present from, for you to, show it from there, and then
Then you take
while I
control
speak to it, right? I may not be able
to
to
do
log
that.
into the app, through the web app for us to democratize whatever I'm saying from the slides.
So I'm trying to get a hand around this because I'm supposed to see you and assign presenter role to you. That's what I'm trying to do.
Or do I need to log out and log in again?
And I saw you. Maybe drop and come in again. Just drop out and come in again. Let me see you again. And
Okay.
should be able to see because on your three chart this thing I should see to allow to present, you know. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for the hiccups. I promise it's going to be great, but we need to listen to the Assistant Vice President himself, Ambrose, from the investment bank. You know, we have brought them for you, for the community, because, we can't be, we're a big community. We have power, so we should use our power to get what we want, isn't it? And that is just what we believe we should be able to do here. Yeah, we're trying to do here. Just having that relationship that we exist in Nigerian stock market, in the capital market, and we deserve our place on the table. Remember, Dangote IPO is coming, and it is only through this kind of partnership that you will be able to have access to that on the writing D. If we don't strike this and move, we will not command that power. We are just fragmented and our power is diluted here and there. So we won't be able to achieve anything. So I really believe I want you to pay attention closely and follow instructions from community leaders, and let's come together to get the best that we could get from our the platform and the community. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you. So let me try to see. Okay, let me apply what I've done. Let me try to see Ambrose now. Ambrose, are you back on the call? If you're back, I'll be looking
Yes,
for
yes, I'm back.
you. Looking for you.
Yes, I'm
Just
back.
put on your camera so that I could see you pop up on. You came back and I'm only trying to see. Okay, let me see. I'll scroll back to see you. Scroll down, see. Okay, I can see you now. You came back in again. Okay, I just pray it works now. Okay, I can see it now. Camera, mic, what? How to share? Enter 3 admin setting. No, that is complicated. So the 2 options we have is this one. Yeah. We may just manage this option. The people panel, click on people icon to see the attendee list. Find the participant. Okay, okay. Hold on. I'm there, almost there. People. Is it people? Ambrose. Ambrose is here. I should do it now. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm here. You should be able to present now. Carry on.
Yeah.
Can you present now?
Yes, I can now.
Okay, problem solved. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. Over to you, Ambrose. Ambrose is the Assistant Vice President at Afrivest Securities Limited. Their head office, corporate office is in Ikoyi, Lagos. Thank you. Over to you.
Please confirm you can see my screen.
It's coming up.
So please let me know when you can see my screen.
Not yet. And that's the response. I'm also not seeing it yet. It's blank. Yeah, I'm also seeing a blank screen.
But let's see if it's coming up.
I hope it comes up. Comes up.
Is it up now?
Not yet up. Can you unshare and reshare again? Unshare
Okay, let me
and
stop.
then just stop
Let me
sharing
stop sharing. Okay.
and then take it in again. Yeah, so share again. Reinitiate it. Is it there now?
Can everyone see it now?
Yes. Please, can you chat if you can see his screen? Great. People are seeing it now.
Okay.
So carry on.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world you have joined us with, and then you are attending this seminar or this summit rather with us. So, like Prof said, my name is Ambrose Onyebuchi Odaba. I'm a staff of AfriInvest. I'm one of the brokers of AfriInvest Securities Limited. AfriInvest Securities Limited is a subsidiary of AfriInvest West Africa. The securities arm is duly licensed as one of the trading license holders of the Nigerian Exchange, which is the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and also regulated and licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission as a broker-dealer. We also provide trading opportunity for equity, money market, and debt instruments. So through AfriInvest Securities Limited, you have the option of trading equities. You also have the option of participating in the money market instrument and also the debt market, so the bonds and other instruments under the debt market. For the want of time, I would like to be a little bit fast. So what are shares? I believe that many of us here knows what shares are and who can buy share. Anybody can buy share. What do you need or who do you need to buy the share? You need to buy through a stockbroker. What are the benefits? You have the rights and the right to vote. You participate in the AGM. You own part of the company. You also get capital appreciation dividend, and you get bonuses when they are declared. What stock exchange? For now, our free investor 2.0 is connected to only NGS platform, the Nigerian Exchange Group platform. That's where you trade. So basically, it's for Nigerian stocks. A stockbroker acts on your behalf. What is needed to buy share? Of course, you need the CSCS depository account, what we call stockbroking account, investment account. Those are the accounts that you need to be able to trade your share, because that's where your shares will lie in. So important of KYC and CSCS account. The KYC means know your customer. Is a first and very key step to opening a stockbroking account. This stage, we ask you for important information, trying to get your record, regulatory requirements. You provide information about yourself to help us know you. You also require to provide additional information like your bank details, so where you can get proceed of the investment and other means of identification as approved by the government. This to help us and enable us to know you well. Then what else you need? You need the CSCS. What is the meaning of CSCS? For those of us that do not know, Central Security Clearing System. This is a depository account where shares bought are domiciled. So it's under CSCS that you have all your shares. You also have statement that states, the shares you have, their current market price, and their volume. Okay, the volume, the units, and then the value, the amount, or the total value of the units that you have based on their current market price. So usually, if you are printing for today, it usually carries yesterday's closing price. CSCS ensures trade settlement here. Recently, specifically November 28th this year, made a very good impact in our market, a very good development. We changed the trading cycle from T+3 to T+2. T+2 means the trading day, the day you execute the trade or the day you carry out the transaction, plus 2 additional working days. It's a very big shift. We move from T+3 to T+2. So any trade consummated in the market now takes 2 days after the trading day to settle. That means investors are more liquid. Investors can easily access their funds, either to trade again or to utilize it for whatever purpose they need it. So for you to get this CSCS account, how long does it take? 24 to 48 hours after a brokerage account has been created for you. Let me fast forward. So here is the game changer for us. The Afro Investor 2.0 is a trading app that's developed by Afro Invest Securities Limited. This app has been in the market for the past 4 years now. And in this app, we have really satisfied a lot of customers. We have our tech teams on ground to resolve any issues. And I can tell you that for the greater part of this year, I think we did not experience much downtime in terms of executing. And we're also working to keep expanding it. As it is now, on daily basis, we have thousands of people that trade through this app. and I can tell you that it has been satisfying. So let me unfold to us how to get involved in this app, how to download it, how to get registered, how to start trading, and how to navigate, through the app and then be able to trade. You can buy, sell, make withdrawals. You can as well, not just buying in equities, like I said initially. This app offers you the opportunity of trading Nigerian stock, participating or investing in federal government savings bond, treasury bills, commercial papers, and then we have another section here called the Afri track, which also helps you to recover your past investment that you think you have lost or you don't know of, recover some of your dividend that you did not get. So all the things are easily done via this our app, Afri Investor 2.0. So the first step is, what is Afri Investor 2.0? Is a platform provided by Afri Invest Securities Limited that simplifies access to the Nigerian exchange market and allows you as an investor to trade from the comfort of your home. You can trade from any part of the world as long as you have strong internet connection and you understand the time of the market, the timing of Nigerian market. So when our market opens and when it closes. So at that time, and with your strong internet connection, you can log in and then trade whatever stock you want to trade. We will also guide you. Our research team, our stock recommendations on weekly basis are there for you to pick from and then buy or sell. So the first thing you need to do is to download this app. If you can see my cursor, so you download this app. If you are downloading this app from the Apple Store, this is the logo you will see. If you are downloading from the Google Play Store, this is the logo you will see. And once you download the app, the first thing that pop up is Discover Financial Freedom. It asks you to put your email address and then your password. Okay, so usually you put a password that you can remember. Once you're able to do that, it takes you to the next stage, sign up for new users. So once you see something like this, so you put your password. But if along the line you have forgotten your password, you can as well come here. We do have experience of people that have done it in the past, so they couldn't remember their password again. So you click on forgot password, it will request for your email address. Then a reset link will be sent to your email. Get started. So you put your name, your surname, your email address, and then your password for new signups. And then an email will be sent to your email for you to confirm that this is you, that this request is actually coming from you, and then with a code. So you send that code to this place. You will see it in the app. Enter verification code. You enter this code to verify that, yes, this email is from me. I'm the one that initiated this process. Then create a 4-digit PIN. This PIN is very, very key, very, very important, in using this app. I'm emphasizing on it. Maybe you can make it very similar or close to the PIN you use in your ATM cards, because whenever you want to make withdrawals, it's usually this PIN that you will use to enable it. Aside the normal PIN that you use to log into the app, but once you want to make a withdrawal from the app, it is this PIN that you use to enable it. So you put the PIN, the 4 PIN, and then you confirm it, and it gets you to this stage, which says brokerage account successfully created. Now, this means you have created an account with Afri Invest Securities Limited. So the next thing we now need to do is to set up this account on your Afri Investor to be able to enable you to trade. So you will now log into the account. You go to your account profile, you click on it, then you will see the class of account. You select classic. So we have different type of account, but classic is usually the one that will enable you to trade because it has no limits. Other accounts has limits of the amount you can deposit, the amount you can withdraw. You have limit of 20,000, 100,000 maximum, a limit of 50 and 200,000 maximum. And that will not really give you the full opportunities or options, that you need to explore in this app. So we usually encourage people to go through the classic, pick the classic account, and then complete your personal information, the KYC. So this KYC is usually your name, which the app will automatically pop up, your phone number. You now include your date of birth, your gender, mother's name, residential address, state of origin, local government, and then your marital status. Are you married? Are you single? Then once you do that, it takes you to the bank, to your bank details, where it asks you for your BVN, your bank account number, the name of the bank, okay, and then the account name, which means your name. So you have to supply us your BVN, your bank account number, the bank, GT Zenith, any bank, any Nigerian commercial bank. Then account number, and then you provide info of your next of kin, which I've said before, upload documents. So where we usually have problem with customers is in this part, this number 6, uploading documents. Because it's an app, we encourage everyone to, before you start this process, ensure that you have your document, the soft copies of your documents. Okay. What are those documents? Your utility bill, your means of ID, your name, national identity number slip, your driver's license, your voter's card, international passport. You have the soft copy of it. You also have your utility bill. You also have the soft copy of your signature. These are key documents that you also need to upload in this app. Once you upload them successful, this message will pop up. Your profile has been successfully created. What this means now that in 24 to 48 hours, we will email you to appreciate you, to also inform you that a CSCS account has been created for you. Once that mail comes to you, you are good to go, meaning you can now trade. And in trading, we will aid you. So our research unit will aid you with stock recommendation. So we will also give you tips on when the market opens, like you can see my screen, market trading section. The market opens 10 a.m. and then closes by 2:30 p.m. Monday to Friday, except on public holidays. Our settlement period, like I said, is T+2, okay? Which means if you do a trade on a Friday, by Tuesday, you should get the proceed of that product or that trade. So T+2. We are moving further from T+3 to T+2. Then we will also give you some, consideration that you need to make before you buy a share. You need to look at your investment objective, your risk tolerance, valuation, dividend earning. But for want of time, I will fast track because I want to do a read demo for us. So I want to quickly go to this. So this is our weekly stock recommendation. So once you create an account with us, you have this app. On weekly basis, every Monday we send our weekly stock recommendations. And beyond sending it, we also have it in the app. So these same recommendations, you will receive them in your email, and then when you log in the app, you will see them. The recommendations, the ones we are asking you to buy, the ones we are asking you to sell, the ones we are asking you to hold or to accumulate. Now, Professor said something about, the market vibration that he spoke about. So you can see the reason for our buy. Anytime we are recommending to say buy, accumulate, sell, reduce, hold. So whenever we are saying buy, we are asking you that if you buy this stock now, you are most likely to get 25 or more total expected return over the next 12 months. Then for the ones you also accumulating is telling you that you can between 10% and 25 total expected return over the next 12 months. So hold is also the ones that are neutral, okay, return are not expected to exceed 10% over the next 12 months. Then the ones we're asking you to reduce is the ones that we are now looking at it that, oh, from now, the price may continue to dip, so it will continue to give you a negative return over the past 12 months. And the ones we are asking you to sell is usually the ones that are already at premium. So those ones, they have given you more than the 25% that we recommended initially on them. So we may be asking you to take profit if you really want to take profits. So funding your account, your wallet. So once you want to fund, okay, so I think let me log out here. Let me stop sharing here and then share for us to do this on a live login. Let me log in to my app, through the web app so that we can demonstrate this for better understanding. Thank you. Please, if you have any question, drop it while I do that.
Yeah, you want to share your full window so that you can move in between.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can see.
So I hope we can see my screen now.
Can everybody see? Please give me a thumbs up if you can see. I can see from my end. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They can see.
Okay, thank you.
Participants can see.
So once you go through, you can use Google, you can use whatever browser that you wish. Just type in AfriInvest, afriinvestor.com, or just type AfriInvest. So it will just take you there. Should I even do something like that? Yeah, I think I should do something like that now. So we'll come here, type AfriInvest. So you can see AfriInvestor 2.0 login. You can also see AfriInvest. You can see AfriInvest Securities Limited. So you click AfriInvestor 2.0 login. Once you click on it, it brings you to this part, AfriInvestor empowering your financial future. Once you click on it, now once you have created your own account, you have your own login through the app, right? Even if it is through here, you can as well click on sign up. Once you click on sign up, it takes you to start the process. So two ways, you can download the app and do it through the app. You can as well do it through the web app, okay? So when you do through the web, once you are done, just put your email address and your password. So the password you can use to log into your app. Just put your email address and the password and then click on sign in. It takes you in. Once you are signed in here, you can see our chatbot. So two ways. There are some people that maybe they're in haste, they can't type much, or through typing, they won't be able to communicate what their problem are or what they want to do, or if they're having any challenge. So we have two ways. You can leave a message or you can as well leave a voice message. So whichever one you leave for us, we will pick it up, and resolve or attend to your issue or query or question. So once you log in, this is your landing page. So this is your landing page. So can everyone see my cursor? You see your home page. For your home page, you will see total portfolio value. You also see total wallet value. So this place is showing you all the portfolio you have, what their value is. This one is one of the portfolios we use to demonstrate. So you can see the total portfolio value here. So when you click here, you will be able to view the portfolio. So see the analysis of the portfolio. It's telling you that the balance I have in my wallet is just 1.58% of the total portfolio. The equities and bond is 98. So there's no treasury bill and commercial paper. There's no fixed income like the federal government savings bond in this portfolio. Well, let's go back to home again. So this shows you the total wallets. So this is the wallet that I have. This is my cash balance. So if I want to fund, I can come and click here. Once you click here, it gives you the option to fund. So this place is now showing me, you can see it's showing how much I have in my wallet. It's also showing me my balance summary, which is the same. Okay. Let me quickly say something here. This total balance and then available to trade. Usually, sometimes investors or our customers get confused. Okay, so if you sell some shares now, or if you sell some shares and the trade has not settled, most times your available to trade will be less, right? So if you have 2,000, for instance, and you have requested to buy a stock worth 1,000, so what you have as available to trade will now be 1,000. So if you go and cancel the trade, it reverses back to 2,000. But if you did not cancel the trade, or maybe you are having a network issue from your own end and the trade has gone, or you think you've canceled the trade, right? You will still be seen available to trade. And if you want to initiate another trade, the balance you have in the available to trade should be able to cover up the amount of shares you want to trade. If it's not able to cover up, then you may not be able to execute that trade. So we have instances where somebody, I know I have this, and I cannot do this. So this is usually one of the issues, that we usually or oftentimes explain to our clients. So once you come here, let's demonstrate on funding. Okay, so now you want to withdraw, you withdraw or deposit from here. So if you want to deposit, you just click what amount do you want to deposit. Maybe 50,000. You click next. So when you call next, it gives you option. You want to use debit card, you want to use bank transfer. Whichever you click takes you to the next stage. If it's a bank transfer, now it creates a virtual account for you. So this is the virtual account you're going to transfer into. And once you do this transfer, that is all. Once you get here and click transferred fund, once you transfer, and then you come here and click transfer fund. Please, you don't need to close this part once you are transferring. Once you get to this stage, leave it like this, pick the account number, and then do what? Transfer from whatever bank account or bank detail you are using. Just transfer. Once you transfer, come here and click transferred. I just give us few minutes. The account will be updated accordingly. If you're also using debit card, you choose on debit card, and then you click next. It also gives you options. Let's see. So it gives you options. Here is options that you need to choose. If you want to change payment mode, you can change payment mode. You can now use card, pay with transfer, pay with bank, USSD, pay with OPay. So if you are doing with OPay, it takes you automatically direct to your OPay. Once you do that, once you click on it, you can now proceed and complete the process. So that is how to fund. If you also want to withdraw, the same thing, you give us the amount you want to withdraw. So we want to withdraw 500 naira from the 819 that we have. You click next, then it gives you so it gives you the amount and it charges the details, and then once you click withdraw, that's all. You have completed that process. Now I want to take us to the main beyond the home. We remember this is from the home. So the home page, once you see your wallet, see your portfolio, see your funding wallet, and then you can see the biggest daily movers. So this one is at yesterday on Friday. But once you click it, once the market is open, you will see them. And here is our recommendation. Like I mentioned earlier, that we give you weekly recommendation. You can see all these ones were our last week recommendation. By Monday morning, when you log in, it will now show you our recommendation for that week. So from here, you can easily click to buy any of the stocks that we're asking you to buy. Click to accumulate. When you accumulate, you also buy it, any of these stocks. But if you want to sell, you can just click to sell any of these ones. This one is saying hold, stand big, meaning do nothing. Don't sell, don't buy. Just let's watch the market for you, or join us in keeping your eyes on the market. Then here too comes up with the latest market news. So you can just log in around 9 o'clock in the morning and begin to familiarize yourself, look at the news, understand, read these news. However, we send these news also to your email. But having them in this app also helps you, better in your investment decision. So you can go through the news, look at them, read them, prepare yourself, towards market before market opens by 10 a.m. So once you do that, if you want to buy any of these stock, you just select them, click on them, and then you look at it. So let's demonstrate that we want to buy a stock. So once you click on the stock, from the list of the stocks, you see the info. This info gives you the detail of the stocks. Then you can click the order book. The order book won't be showing now, but you can see bid, total bid, and then offer total. So during the trading section, the bid will tell you how many people that are on the bid, how many people that want to buy this stock at their prices. It gives you the price, it gives you the quantity, then it gives you how many orders. So maybe 10 people want to buy 3 naira, 15 people want to buy 4 naira, 100 people want to buy 2 naira 50 kobo, and then 25 people want to buy 5 naira, for instance. You will see them here. And then if it's your offer too, you will see the same offer. People that want to sell, it gives you the price they want to sell, the quantity they want to sell, then how many people. So someone said, we are 15 people that want to sell total quantity of 100,000 units at 5 naira. So this will aid your decision, okay? It will aid you. Once you go through that and see it, then you can as well come here, trades, to see the trade that have happened for that day, for that particular stock. So you have picked a stock. Once you click on this trade, it will show you, oh, at this time, this quantity was done at this price. So by 10:05, 25,000 units was bought or was sold or matched at the 25 naira at 10:05 a.m. and then 5,000 units. So now when you want to buy the stock, when you click on the stock, it brings you here to say buy or sell. So if you click on sell, you're selling. If you click on buy, you're buying. And then the key things that you need to note here is, first, once you click on buy, you need to put the units that you want to buy or the units that you want to sell. Then you need to also give order. If you allow it in this market order, right? You have 2 order here. The other type here, you have 2. Market order means sell or buy at the market price. But limit order means sell or buy at your own price. For instance, you want to buy. Somebody is selling 5 naira. and you put at market price, it will straightly go and buy from the person 5 naira. But if you put limit order, in your limit order, you can say, no, I don't want to buy 5 naira. Let me buy 4 naira 80 kobo. So once you put 4 naira 80 kobo, it will stay in the order book. It's not going to give to the person that is selling at market of 5 naira. Right? So, but if you click on the market order, so once you put the unit or the number of shares you want to buy, you come to this order type to choose your order. If you choose market, fine. If you choose limit order, if you choose market order, it will give you the estimated cost. Right? Then you will now select the period. Then if you choose limit order, it will now give you the price you want to buy. So I want to buy at 480 kobo. 480 kobo. I want to buy at 480 kobo. This price is coming up because I've choose limit order. But if I choose market, the price will not come. Then after choosing the price, it will not ask you to share unit to buy. What is the unit of share you want to buy? You cannot pick the unit you want to buy. Then you now come here to select the period. So you can see different periods here. So good for the day means that day. If you are not able to sell or buy that day, once market close, the order automatically cancelled. It cancels itself, whether it's buy order, whether it's sell order. But if you pick good for 3 days, it will remain till next 3 days. So if you initiate today, additional 2 days, by the end of the 3rd day trading, if you are not able to buy or sell, it will cancel. If you pick 7 days, the same thing. If you pick good till cancel, that means it will remain there until you go and cancel it by yourself, or the market gives it to you, or the market gets to your price. So if the stock is, there's pressure, that people will be buying the stock, I can just come and put in the market good till 4 days. So it's now the app that now does the work for you. So for that 3 days, for that 7 days, till you cancel it, once anybody comes to sell at your price, and you are you are the first person in that queue, it will automatically be given or supplied to you if you want to buy. Same with if you want to sell. Then you can also customize date. You can decide to customize date. It gives you how to customize date. So I can click on it and then begin to put the date I want, maybe till end of April next year. I can put maybe, let me say 25th of April. I can say 25th of April, 2026. 26. So once you put this, it goes, and then once you now see, once you're done with that, you can see the total value of your portfolio. So in this case, this is my purchasing power. You now click buy. Oh God. So market is not on anyway. Let me do December 23rd, 20. Let me do 12, 28, 2025. So, okay, the spine day cannot be on weekend. Okay, so you can see it cannot be on weekend. If you make it on weekend, it cannot fly. Let me say 24th. Okay, 24th December. So you can see that is giving me that I want to buy a stock worth 97,000. Okay, so in this case, what do I need to do? I need to top up my account. I need to top up my account. So why is this not moving? Okay. Okay, so I don't know why the thing did not screw down. So you remember I entered this buying of stocks from here, okay? But usually when you log into the app, you now come to invest. Once you click our invest, you can see various options here. So invest in Nigerian stock. Once you click on it, it takes you to Nigerian stocks that you want to invest. So it brings you here, and then you can now search for which stock do you want to invest in. It's saying market is closed. So if market is open now, it will be more real. So you will see them. So it's now showing you the stocks. Then you click on explore. Explore will also give you our stock recommendation. If you want to pick from our stock recommendation. So you are the one to set up this watch list by yourself once you have stock. So you can set it up to say, oh, I have GT, I have Zenith. Okay, I want to see when GT will get to 25 naira or 30 naira or 17 naira or 100 naira, and then you take decision. But once you come to stock, you click all stock. Once you click on all stocks, you can now search for which stock do you want. But it's very important that we understand the symbol for the stock. Okay, so once you click on search, you want Zenith, you click on Zenith, Zenith comes as number one. You click on GT, GT comes as one. So let's say GT comes, so now you click on GT. So it begins to show you the analysis on GT, like I told us before, the other book, the trades that have been done on GT for that day. Okay, then you now decide to say you want to buy or you want to sell. So if you click buy, you also come back to put the units, meaning that you are remaining in the other type of market order. But if you change to order limit, it will now bring out the price. You can say buy GT at 85, 85. And then you will now come down to select your limit period. Like I said, good for the day is usually what I encourage most people to do, okay? So that at the end of the day, your cash balance will reflect what it should be. Because if you now put anyone good for 3 days, for that 3 days, your cash balance will not be showing that trade that you put in the market. So it will be deducted from your wallet. That trade value will be deducted from your wallet. So for that 3, 4 days, 7 days, whatever number of days you have chosen, okay, that amount will not be reflecting in your wallet. It will be seen that the trade has been done, but if the trade eventually happens, it will not be properly deducted. If it did not happen and is cancelled, the balance will now return back to your wallet. So once you do that, you also pick the unit you want to buy. 4,000 is too much. Then you now come to buy GTCO. But before you do this, you can decide to top up. So you click on top up. But once you click on buy GTCO, it shows you the amount. It shows you the amount. First market is closed. So once it shows you the amount, you can see the amount that you want to buy. So there's no market margin. Now, why no market margin? Because I'm buying at what? Limit order. But if you put at market order, it will show you the market margin. Now, what is the market margin? The market margin is usually, say for instance, somebody is selling, you want to buy now. So you're taking a buy position. Somebody is selling at 5 naira 20 kobo. And the best bid, so the best person that want to buy is pricing 4 naira 70 kobo. But you want to do at the market of that 5 naira 20 kobo. So that margin between 4 naira 75 kobo that somebody want to buy So the 5 naira 20 kobo that somebody want to sell will now be the market margin. So once you click on the market, you will see the margin. That if you're asking us to buy this thing for you, note too that if you have done limit order, this 25 kobo, this 30 kobo, this 3 naira will be like you'll be deciding on where to position yourself at your own price. But since you're asking us to execute at the market, this is the market margin that you will get to. So once that is done, you will now see buy now. So once you click on buy now, it automatically goes. So, but if you don't have money, see, insufficient fund, do not have enough available balance to complete it. So if you don't have enough available balance to complete it, what do you then do? You now have to go back here to top up. Once you click top up, you now put the amount you want to top up with. Now, if you succeed in putting the trades in the market and you want to cancel it, you don't want again. If you now have another information, so I don't want to buy GT, I want to buy Zenith. You will now come to your history, the other history. In this, your other history, if you look at this, my other history here, you see this one is booked, this one is executed, this one expired, executed, expired. So you will see, what you will see is booked. Once it's booked, you click on it. Once you click on it, you come up, you can now say cancel order. You cancel order. Once you cancel the order, do you want to cancel the order? Yes. So this order cannot be canceled. Status is expired. Wow. So, but once you see it booked, that means it's in the market. It has not been executed. But once you see executed, that means it has been executed. So you have been able to buy or sell. But once you see expired means depending on the number of days you are choosing now. So let's say we choose good for the day. So at the end of the market, nobody gave me, I was not able to buy from anybody, I was not able to sell to anybody. But if it's still there during the market and you see it, so you can now go and click cancel order. Then you will cancel the order. Once that is done, the next thing you will do is you can now come to your portfolio. Like I told us before, in your portfolio, you scroll down, you will see all the stocks that you have. So say, for instance, I want to sell my GT. You click on GT. Once you click on GT, it gives you the summary of what has happened in GT, right? You see the simulation here. Then you can now come back here. Here is showing you how many units you have. I hope you can see my cursor. Here is showing you how many units you have. I have 100 units. So you want to sell. If you also want to buy, you have the option of selecting buy. So you want to say, if you want to buy more from the stock, your existing stock in your portfolio, once you click on the stock, it gives you the summary. Look at it, you read about the firm or the stock, and then you click sell or buy. Then you click the unit you want to now put. Say this 100 unit, I want to sell it. Then you screw. This is not happening because market is not open. Okay, so, but you can see from your portfolio that you can see in your portfolio now, it gives you the analysis of the return. So at what price did you buy the unit cost, the total cost, the market price, the market value, then your return, and then percentage return. Like when Prof said that you can buy more if the stock is trading lower. So when you buy more, say for instance, I bought GT at 87 and GT drops now at 80 or 75 or 78, and I decide to buy another 100 units, my unit cost will drop from this 87.52 to maybe around 80 okay, maybe around 80 to drop to around 80. So the more you buy at a lower price, the more you bring down your cost and the more opportunity for you to make money in the market once the stock rallies, like Prof has noted earlier. So once you're able to do that, you can now come to invest. So if you want to invest in federal government savings bond, once you click on this part, it shows you the bond available. Now it's not available. Federal government savings bond is usually available first week of every month, and the minimum subscription is 5,000. So once it's available, you will see it here, and you have a link. So once you click on it, it takes you to a link where you fill your information. So you fill your detail, the amount you want, okay, the price, and then you can pay from your wallet. You can also do a different top up for that purpose. That is how it's structured. Very easy, and it takes you less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes is too much for you to finish it up. And then click submit. And once you submit it, we will receive it from our back end. Then the same thing with treasury bill. Also, you will see the treasury bills that are available, okay, during the time they are available. So you can click on the link. So you can see 3 or 4 treasury bills. You can see 3 or 4 treasury bills at different rates. So you can see 91 days, 182 days, 364 or 360 days. You can see them. So you will now decide on the one you want and then click on it and then make payment or pay from your wallet. Same with commercial paper. Commercial paper too, you can see 2 or 3. So one commercial paper from so firm A, commercial paper from firm B, commercial paper from firm C. The beauty thing about these are commercial paper is that it's not all the commercial paper in the market that we put in our app, because again, we have our risk managers. Okay, so the risk managers look at it, look at the risk, look at the rating of the commercial paper. Okay, decide that, oh, this one is safe for our investors. So any commercial paper you see here must have undergone that process to see that, yes, this commercial paper, the integrity of the company is here, that's the risk of default is not there or is very, very minimal. So sometimes we have calls from clients that will say, this commercial paper is available. I'm not seeing it on the app. However, I can still do those ones, but you can't do them through the app. So anyone you can do through the app has already been certified as lower risk and good for our investors and our customers. So from invest, you have options: invest in Nigerian stock, invest in federal government savings bond, invest in treasury bill, invest in commercial papers. And finally, you look at the wallets, which I've showed us already, and then you can come to your history and then look at your history, order book, okay, to see what you have done in the past year or in the past week or in the past days. The beauty part of this our app again is that every Friday you get your portfolio valuation reports automatically sent to your email. So once you check your email, you can see how your portfolio has grown as at close of market on that Friday of that week. So you can easily go back to the previous week and look at it and say, oh, it has grown by 2%, or it has, not grown or reduced in value, or depleted by 2% or 3%. So it helps you to be, keep abreast of your portfolio, to understand the stocks you have, and then watch out on specific news on the stocks that you have. Finally, if you look at this place, you see my name and you see that it's showing the classic account. It's under classic account that you have the robustness of this app, that you'll be able to participate and do everything under this classic account. So if you click on it here, you can see my profile. You can see a lot of information that you need to update. So first thing that you see again is that if you want to fund your account or your wallet and you don't want to even go through the app, you can just log in here, come here, click under your profile. You will just see your account, this virtual account that is created for you. Once I pick this account and transfer money into it, it comes to my wallet. I can give it to any of my friends. I can give it to any of my mother, uncle, aunties, my company to say every month, make so amount, transfer so amount into this account. Once they do that, just come to your wallet. You will see it reflected. And this is one of the beauty of this our Afri Investor app. At this point, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
be rounding up to say thank you so much, and I'll wait to take questions.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. Thank you so much. We appreciate, the community appreciates. So we have the representative of Afri Invest Securities West Africa Limited, our partner investment banker. A round of applause for Ambrose for the wonderful presentation. He has told us everything about the app that we need to know. This is our new app that we are going to be using. So questions, Ambrose, if you look at the chat, I don't know whether you look at the chat, there are questions already there. A lot of questions, that are waiting there.
Okay, yeah. So someone is asking, where do I start from? Okay, this person is, can we trust US stock? Can we trace US stock on Afri Investor too? The answer is no, but Afri Invest West Africa, we have 7 subsidiaries, ranging from asset management, so we have our mutual funds, ranging from advisory, ranging from research and consulting and other subsidiaries. So one of our fintech arm is the one that had a product that you can trade the US stock, which is the Optimus. So you can see Optimus by Afri Invest. Okay. Through Optimus, you will have access to almost the same thing that Afri Investor will offer you in Nigerian market. You have that with foreign markets. So you have their recommendations. Okay. You can seamlessly fund your account, trade. Okay. And this partnership will expand to that. One of the beauty thing about this partnership is that I've been a member of this platform or forum for over a year now. We are going to have a dedicated account officers for any member of this platform. So once you have any issue or issues, right, you can reach out to me. Prof will drop my contact on the platform. I'm also on the platform. So you just mentioned that you have issue with Afri Investor. We will take it up. The assurances I'm giving is that for every member of this platform, if our response time is 10 minutes, I will assure you that for members of this platform, our response time should be less than 2 minutes. Okay, I've been able to bring some of my colleagues on the same platform. So as we speak, we are more than 4 that is on that platform now. So once it has to do with Afri Invest, once it has to do with Optimus, we will take up your issue. The only challenge we usually have is once we respond, we don't get the feedback from the person. Okay, but mostly, if you're having any issue, just let us know. Send it, DM us with your email address or possibly your account details so that we can be able to fish out what the issue is and then resolve it. Because on daily basis, on this Afri Investor, we have over 10,000 people that are trading through this platform on daily basis. Okay, so once you have issues, we would like you to communicate to us your identity so that you help us to scoop your trade issues and then resolve it amicably.
All
So that
right,
we don't
thank you
have
very
back and forth.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
So,
Ambrose, for that. There's another
Prof,
question here. Can
okay.
somebody in EU trade with this app? Somebody, because our community members are global. And
Yes.
yeah, how can they
The
set
answer
up?
is yes. So as long as I have friends who are in EU, I have friends who are in Canada. Okay, so as long as you have been able to create this account successfully, and you have strong internet connection, which is not usually an issue over there as against in Nigeria here, you can trade. Log in the app through the trading time. But if you want to log in and you don't know the time of the day, please drop it on the WhatsApp platform for this group. So anybody can respond. Those of us in Nigeria can tell, oh, now it's 12 a.m., now it's 12 p.m., now it's 3 p.m. So the market is about to close or it just closed. Thank you.
All
Please
right, thank
explain
you
the
very
stock.
much.
Someone is asking, please explain this order book when purchasing stock. I think I've done that, but let me just provide more detail. So the order book when purchasing stock, so you will see the bid total or the bid order book. The bid order book is telling you that these are people that want to buy this stock. Okay, and then it gives you the price. It gives you the price. My screen is still showing, right? Yes. So, sorry, a quick one.
Yeah, fast.
Sorry, a quick one. Sorry, a quick one. Okay. So now this other book. So at this place, bid total, it will show you the total number of bids in terms of units. So it can tell you that 25 million units of this stock is what people want to buy. And it will also come here to show you 25 million, maybe 10 million units of this stock is what people want to sell. But since you're asking on the bid, so it shows you the price, the quantity, and the orders. Now, the price is 2 naira. We have 15,000 units. And this 15,000 units is coming from 3 people. That's the orders. How many people that have queued in this order is 3 people. So you will see them. But if it's 1 person, you will see 1 person is buying 50,000 units at 20 naira. You will see it here. So once it's through, if market is on, you will see maybe 25, 50, 100, 10, 3, depending on the stock. Sometimes you can come to a particular stock, you will see only offer total, you will not see bid. That means that stock is fully on offer. Everybody wants to sell, nobody is buying. Some stock too, you can see that you will see bid and no offer. That means that people want to buy, nobody is selling. I can give you an example. Airtel. If market opens on Monday, go to Airtel, you will see that it's fully on bid. People want to buy, nobody is selling. So all the people that have it, they're holding it. Then if you look at some stocks like Geregu and others too, you will see that they are on full offer. They want to sell, nobody is buying. Okay? Even Seplat have that experience sometimes too. So the other book helps to give you a view of what is happening in the market for the buy side and also for the sell side. I hope this explains.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambrose. Somebody is asking what causes market correction. Okay, market correction is caused, as I said, it is caused by psychology, human psychology. That's number one. Human beings, when they experience a roller coaster, market has gone up. People have made a lot of money. Then, because of psychological 3 behaviors, we have already outlined 3 behaviors of human being that drives every investor, even Warren Buffett, every investor. And we say loss aversion. Loss is paying people, losing money, paying people as twice greater than making money. When people lose money, the pain is ×2 than the joy they experience when they lose money, when they make money. You know, when you make money, you are joyful, isn't it? But when you lose money, the pain is double. The magnitude of that pain is twice. So people are afraid of that. That's number one. It's the psychological thing. I don't want that to happen. Then maybe there was a recent loss they suffer, recency. That's another thing. They made a mistake in the past, maybe last week or last month or last year, and they lost money. That fear of that recent loss, that memory is also haunting them. And that drives that behavior that I don't want to repeat it again. And they start selling. And then we talk about heading. One guy who is very popular, an influencer, let's say influencer on TikTok in the market, came out and say that Nvidia should be sold. Then you see human beings will just follow the guy. They don't care to know what happened. That's what we call heading behavior. And they just begin to sell. So that's a psychological issue, can cause a market correction. Then another thing is a bad news, government policy. For example, Trump tariff. When Donald Trump announced tariffs on China, can you see that? Government policy can cause market correction. Can you see that? That's another thing. So there are factors, or maybe natural disaster like or pandemic like COVID-19. COVID-19 caused market correction. When there's a bad news about an outbreak of COVID-19 or a virus that broke out in China and is spreading fast across the world, market will be forced to correct. So these are factors that can lead to market correction. Another one is geopolitical risk. For example, if there's a war that breaks out between Russia, all right, and America, I promise you there's going to be market correction. That's called geopolitics. Okay. Thank you very much. And I believe that is clear now.
Sorry, Prof. Let me just use a minute to respond to a few questions.
Commission, right?
Someone is asking, is there any way to have a physical contact with AfriInvest personnel here at Lagos? Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, AfriInvest, we have 6 offices. We have Lagos, Port Harcourt, Onitsha, Abuja, Kaduna. We just opened one in Enugu. And all our offices are open except for public holidays and then weekends. So just walk into AfriInvest office, Lagos office at 27 Gerard Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. Ask to see anybody from the securities arm, and then you have me. If I'm around, you have me. If I'm not around, you have someone to attend to you. However, if you're a member of our platform, if you belong to our WhatsApp group, maybe at the end of this presentation today, I will also try to mention my name for those of us that don't know me, so that you can have my contact. So as well, you can reach out to me, DM me.
All right,
Want to
that's
come.
beautiful. That's beautiful, Ambrose. We're running out of time. Answer this question about commission. This is very important. Commission on buying and selling.
Okay, so yes, so for commission on buying and selling now, for a retail investor, we are still at the regulated commission range, which is 1.35 on both sides. However, we are working on looking at a review of the commission, okay, in line with market realities. Until that is done, for now, we are at 1.35.
And 1.35, it's an industry baseline, right? That's the standard.
Yes.
Because that's what the Bamboo is doing to 1.35.
And for us, I think there are a few apps that we also tell you that if you are doing a minimum, some apps have a minimum of, say, maybe 15 naira. So if you're doing a one stock, but for us, we don't do that. We do 1.35. Imagine someone is mistakenly bought 2 units of a stock of 4 naira, and you want the person to pay 15 naira. Okay, so for us, we are following the industry standard. Someone asked something about our research. I also tell you that AfriInvest we have been in this market for over 30 years, and we are one of the 5 stockbroking firms in this industry. I think we are even number 1, yes. So go to our YouTube, go to our online channels. You can watch more videos on how to navigate our apps, and then reach out to me when you have any issues. Thank you.
What's the extra 10% that somebody say they have to pay when they're buying stock on the total, extra 10% of the total cost of the shares?
Extra 10%. I don't think is up to extra 10%. I don't know, because from what I know is
because that's a lot. 10% is a lot. Is it extra 1%? The person mean?
When you are
Fabian,
buying shares,
do you mean extra 1%? I'm saying extra 10%.
I am required to pay an extra 10% of the total cost of the shares. Why is that? It was not happening before. Please, is it on our platform?
Let me open him to speak. Fabian, can you speak, please? I've allowed you to speak, yes. I think so. I've allowed your mic. Allow mic. Fabian, can you speak? Or is it an error or miscommunication somewhere?
I think his hand is up.
It's up. I allowed him to, I opened up the mic for him to speak, but I can't hear you. Okay, we're running out of time. Let's move to our last session. Quickly, our last presentation. I promise we're not going to waste time. And it's the most important. Everything is important, but this is very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. So we're not going to waste time. I'll disable him and continue. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to unveil our investing themes for 2026. All right. Our investing themes for 2026 last year, we did incredibly well. Incredibly well. We came here and we unveiled some sort of set of stocks for 2025. All right. And these stocks that we unveiled yielded significant returns. For example, we unveiled stocks like D-Wave and Rigetti here. Even though they started on a very rocky path, due to that correction we studied, that market correction we studied here already in April. And some of us made a mistake and sold. And because it was so rough, some of us held on to that. All right. I think I know of a community member who held on to that. Is Frank on the call? Frank from London. Frank, are you on the call? Can you say hi to the community? Okay. So Frank head on to that. Okay, Frank is there. Oh, it's Fabian. Fabian's hand is up. Okay. So a lot of us head on to that. And then maybe some of us dropped the ball. And then later on, we made another call again on Rigetti. And ladies and gentlemen, it was mouth watering, right? So what we make here, we're still going to make it. We're going to declare our position for the whole year. But we're still going to be making our individual recommendations on the group, so don't bother about that. We're going to continue. But it's also important that the strategy we're setting here today, you go and begin to invest almost immediately. Because while I was doing research with my team here in London and researching these opportunities, the stocks that we are going to unveil here had already started taking off ahead of 2026. Okay. So if it is ideal to enter, if you can enter now after here, that's fine, before 2026, or you want to wait till January, it's up to you. All right. If you want to take your position, start taking your position in these stocks. So we will start with the US stocks. All right. The US stock market. And let me share my screen and present our theme for investment strategy for 2026. 2026 investing theme. All right. So I'm sharing my screen now. And here, yeah, if you see my screen, can you just give me a chat? Can you just say hi or thumbs up? Let me know we're on the same page. See my screen, just thumbs up. So I'm sharing a Microsoft Word document now, a table. All right, great. I see Fabian, see me. Who else? Hands, just a hand, a thumbs up, let me know, a wave or a chat, yes, and I know I will be more comfortable. Everybody is being carried along. All right, everybody could see my screen now. So ladies and gentlemen, our theme for investing in the year 2026, as far as the US stock market is concerned, is AI. Artificial intelligence remains a top-notch investment theme for us. All right. Forget about the stories you are hearing about AI fears. These fears are not real. You have to check your fear gauge. the VIX. Once you check your fear gauge, which is the VIX, you could see that the VIX is at its best. The VIX is currently at heaven on earth level. And I expect this VIX to remain like that at least to Q1 of 2026, which means that markets, some of these stocks we're recommending here today, you may take profit in the first 2 months of the year. Profit targets would be hit. And I believe VIX is going to, the way VIX is, I'm not foreseeing anything anti our projection. In fact, I'm only seeing a supporting monetary policy. What I mean by supportive monetary policy is the interest rate decision of the Federal Reserve System in the US, the Fed. The Fed is anticipated largely to continue to cut interest rates because of the sudden drop in inflation rate in the US. Inflation reading is dropping. It has dropped sharply to 2.7% this week. All right. Yes, this week. Now, as against 3%, 3 point something percent projection by analysts. And Fed responded by cutting interest rate this week as well. And we are expecting Fed to continue to cut interest rates. That is Fed under Powell, Jerome Powell. Now, because Jerome Powell right now is not in the good books of Donald Trump, our global amiable president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump wanted to kick Powell out, but for fear of market, he's afraid of market correction, and he is managing Powell till the end of Powell's tenure. And Jerome Powell's tenure ends in May, all right? Because Donald Trump wanted interest rates to be cut down to rock bottom, all right? But Jerome Powell, as an economist, he is conservative and afraid of inflationary pressures. Therefore, he and his Fed Monetary Policy Committee have been hesitant to cut interest rate. Therefore, they are not cutting interest rate aggressively as Trump wanted. So Trump is definitely not going to renew Jerome Powell's tenure as the central bank governor or Fed chairman in the United States. Donald Trump has already tipped an ally who is going to go in there and slash interest rate down to rock bottom. Down to rock bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, I say rock bottom interest rate. That is what we're going to see in the year 2026. Interest rate in the US is going to be slashed down to rock bottom. And when interest rate is slashed down to rock bottom, the equity market is expected to rise astronomically. Stock prices will enter the bull run that we have never seen before. That is my prediction for the year 2026 in the US. Now, on the back of this, the AI thing, which people have been nursing fears about because they consider it as being risky or being at a precipitous stage, is going to consolidate as a major investment thing for the year, because investment in data centers, AI data centers, is going to expand. All right. Hyperscalers like Google, Meta, Amazon, XAI, OpenAI, mention them, Oracle, they are all going to continue to expand their capex, their capital expenditure spending on artificial intelligence. When interest rate drops down to rock bottom, it means they will have access to cheap money to invest more and more into data centers. Therefore, AI is our major investment theme for the year 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at taking 40 to 30 to maximum 50% return on investment on each of these stocks. All right. The first stocks is called the Hood Sound Hood AI. Now, Sound Hood AI has been on our watch list for over a year now. What they do is that it's a small AI company, and they are trying to, what they do is that it's a conversational AI infrastructure, and they create a platform, and in that platform, they have capabilities that that hardware makers who want to integrate AI can easily come in to use their platform for AI integration. For example, cars, those trying to make cars to become smart by introducing AIs into cars, they can tap into Sound AI, Sound Hood AI, to introduce conversation whereby you touch your car and you can talk to your car and your car will talk back to you. That's what they're doing. Okay. You can talk to your fridge. For example, LG and Samsung may want to introduce AI-enabled freezers. So you can just come to your freezer and say, open, please, could you open the door? And the freezer will open by itself. Will talk to you and say, hello, welcome, have the fridge open for you. When you finish, you talk back to your fridge and say, please, could you close? And your freezer responds and closes the door. That is what Sound Hood AI is doing. Or you can talk to your car, all right, autonomous cars, and your car responds. You can just talk to your car. I want to drive to this postcode here in London or in Birmingham. Could you set the GPS for me? And say, okay, and your car is that smart. Okay. So Sound Hood AI is doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's a catalyst? What we expect to drive this is that we're expecting their users' books, like restaurants. Okay. So restaurants, you can also some restaurants are becoming smart. You can get into the restaurants and do your booking. You don't need to talk to human being. You can go straight to self-service and place your order straight away through interaction, right? So currently, you have McDonald's using those stands across the UK, yeah, and in Europe and in North America. But then you don't have that human voice interaction with those self-booking stands in McDonald's. What Hood Voice Services is trying to do is that they will integrate a voice conversation into it. And instead of tapping, you can just come there and say, hi. The booking stand greets you and you greet it back, and you just tell it what you want, and it just arrange the booking, interact with you through voice, and arrange the booking for you right away. So they're anticipating more restaurants to adopt that. And then they're also anticipating OEM equipment manufacturers in the 2026. They're already having deals already with some OEMs. So those OEMs are going to integrate their platform into the voice, AI voice, into many hardwares. Many hardwares are going to take on this. For example, your car, the makers of car like Toyota want to make Toyota cars smart so that you can talk to your car and your car talks back to you. Toyota is signing up. Many companies are signing up with Sound Hood AI. All right. So look at the price. They're currently selling at 11.2. And our projection target price is 15.68. And our profit is 40%. That's what we're projecting. Okay. We're projecting a profit of 40%. So that's our number one for the year. Our number two is who you know, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Big Bear. Big Bear AI. Big Bear AI. All right. Big Bear AI, during the time of this research, it was at $5. It's already jumped 14% between yesterday. All right. Yesterday. Yeah. So here we are. 6.26 is not a bad one at all. We know what they do. They're really good with security, analytics, defense. They have a lot of contracts, and countries are very careful about public securing their countries using AI, using security, artificial intelligence, cameras, drones, and all of that, especially with the rising and terrorist attack in Europe. We also saw what happened in Australia. All right. So governments are stepping up their security. They don't just want to put police on the street, but they want to use AI and security to secure cities, secure city centers, secure countries, borders, and all of that. And that is where big bear AI is going to experience a lot of demand, a lot of contracts. So they're already expecting to report about, they have about 376 million backlog already in 2025, and revenue has picked up to 125 to 140 million. All right. So we're anticipating revenue to continue to grow strongly. So on this basis, we are conservatively expecting, looking at entering at $6 and exiting at 8.45. And the price target, the profit target is 35%. That's where we are. And then, ladies and gentlemen, there is interesting stock here called Siva. All right. So Siva, basically what Siva is doing is that they are a natural processing unit. And what they do is that they're supporting the autonomous vehicles. Yeah. Autonomous vehicles, they are also doing some great job there where they provide microcontrollers. So these microcontrollers help in controlling robots in factories and then controlling cars and appliances, okay, for autonomous driving. So what is basically driving us is that we are looking at it that sentiments among analysts. Analysts believe in these stocks a lot. Many analysts are saying that the stock is going to actually boom in the year 2026. And also we have seen that they have created good products and they're pushing towards industrial and automotive clients. All right, they're trying to make sure to sell their own technology or AI system to factories. All right, and then automakers that want to go into autonomous vehicle, make self-driving cars. They are trying to do that. So they're pushing towards that. So currently they are at 21 and we're looking at 29. That's a 40%. And when we mean 40%, we mean 40%. Yeah, conservatively, yes. It might look high, but they have strong fundamentals too. We've seen through that clearly. Through our research lenses, we've seen through that. And then we have Arteris. So Arteris is also another targeted towards autonomous vehicle architecture. They provide AI systems that support vehicles to drive by themselves. Instead of human drivers, vehicles can drive themselves. They're doing a lot of great products around that. So what we think is the catalyst that will be driving this going forward is that they are connecting with some OEM makers like Bosch. We know Bosch for us in engineering. Bosch does a lot of tools, and so they're trying to do things about robotic manufacturing, or where you have robots manufacturing cars instead of human beings. So they are there and supporting and powering their own system to box, and also helping with companies that want to make their vehicles autonomous. So in the year 2026, we are expecting that these partnerships are going to give them a lot of revenue, a lot of revenue. So we put their target price at 22. Yeah, 22 is the target price. We're looking at it. Currently, it's at 15.7. We expect it to rise to 22, and that is 30%. Okay. And then we have Duos Technologies. That is next. Duos Technology, yes. I love this stock because you know what they're doing? What they're doing is that they're building data centers for AI workloads. That's what they're doing. They're providing the energy, providing data centers to support AI workloads so that companies like OpenAI can rent their data center. All right. So the stocks have been doing quite well. I think we had it in one of our portfolio we identified it during the year, and it returned a good profit even during market vibrations, the recent market vibration, reset, and then it's set to move in the year 2026. So we're looking at 30% conservatively for duos technology, conservatively. Okay. So they're doing great things. They're doing a lot because they're building more data centers and they are projecting to add maybe 50 units, deploy 50 units. That is their goal. So we expect that they will be on track. They will keep their execution on track and achieve this goal in the year 2026. And investors are quite excited about the stock. Yeah. Then we have Iveda. We have Iveda. Yeah. Iveda Solutions. Now, Iveda Solution is a smart city AI. What they do is that they collect all of the CCTV data. All right. If you bring it into your city, they collect all the CCTVs. It tracks the CCTVs in the city, collect the images, analyze those images, and enable detection, any event or crime detection that happened in the city. It does that excellently well. That's what the AI is doing. So existing CCTV cameras pull the data, those images together, and gather intelligence from them and communicate in natural language with users to aid any detection of crime or any crime detection and prevention. So that's what they're doing. So we are expecting that public safety is an issue of concern for many countries at the airports, in the city centers, and they are taking advantage of this momentum, safety momentum, to make sure that they get into markets across North America, Asia, Middle East, and Africa, and sell, push their technology to governments and sign those contracts. Okay. So they're lowering that barrier also by introducing natural language. You know, when you say natural language in AI, you can talk to AI the way you talk to me in English language, and the AI system can understand and take actions. Unlike before, that you must write code or get a computer engineer or a software engineer to write the codes in computer coded language of zeros and one. What they're doing now is a natural language can interact and get result. So that is their selling point, and it's currently very cheap, $0.96 today. And our target price is not much. We're only looking at 50%. I think this is the only stock we are ambitious because we know this stock can go as far as $2 in 2026. We're very sure because they look really, really good. And what they are doing is great. They have great products. They're pushing the market. So we expect that 50% is not too much to ask from this stock, from them, to get as a return on investment. And then we have Innuvo. So Innuvo is, your cookies on the internet. When you are visiting a website, they try to collect information from you through cookies and all of that. So what Innuvo is doing is an AI company. What they're trying to do is to take out that cookie, because that cookie has exposed companies to many legal issues and privacy law, breaching of privacy laws. Okay. So how about introducing an alternative that can deprecate or remove this cookie out, because cookies create problems. Yeah. So problem about data privacy. People will say, oh, they use cookies to harvest my data without my knowledge. And then they go to court and sue Amazon or sue the company that has the website. All right. So with this Innovo, activities and buying behaviors of customers can be tracked silently without their knowledge. Okay. In privacy. Okay. So this is to help sellers and e-commerce companies and businesses to be able to know and predict the next buying behavior of those people, customers or prospects that are visiting their websites without using cookies. All right. So investors and analysts are very, very optimistic about them. Look at what analysts are saying. Analysts are expecting that even setting a price target of $15 All right, that's what analysts are saying for this. All right, $15, but it's currently trading at 2.6. We are not that ambitious. We are setting a price target of 30%, 3.38. That's a return of 30%. That's what we're looking at. But I just want to highlight how analysts are feeling about the technology, this small AI stock. All right, great. And then last but not the least, we have Trisalus Life Science. So it's an AI biotechnology company. They are creating a platform for medical discovering medicine development. Okay. So which is very, very nascent and new. And I look at the chart when during research, look at everything, and investors are really bullish on the stock as well. So what they are doing is that they are pushing for clinical milestones. They have ongoing trials that they are paired with other platforms with some pharmaceutical or core biotech companies. They want to be able to get data out by 2026. So if they are successful, they are looking for a partnership. And the partnership, they can partner with the big pharma companies like Pfizer and the rest of them. All right. So they are looking at that. So, and that will unlock a lot of cash flows for them, for the company. All right. So currently, the share price is 7.4. We're looking at 10 $10 per share. We're anticipating that is based on the tailwinds and the catalyst we are seeing. We're looking at it that's 35%. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our projection for the US stock market for 2026. Okay, 2026. So Big Bear, Soundhood AI. Quickly for the Nigerian Stock Exchange, before we run up, running out of time, but we have to go back to look at the local market in Nigeria and have some take on what the Nigerian Stock Exchange is actually going to look like. So I will share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen, right? And I will appreciate that. For Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have got a couple of stocks here that we are betting on. All right. We are betting on, and as our practice or our strategy, our minimum expectation is 30%. All right. So please let me know if you can see my screen. I'll reshare a new screen and I want to be sure you could see. Just give me a thumbs up, hands up, and wave chat. Great, great, great. Okay. So we have a couple of stocks here for Nigerian stock. Number one, we have got Access Bank, Access Holdings. Now the stock has taken a hit recently, which offers opportunity. Yeah, because this stock was trading at 30, close to 30 or 31, 32. But it has taken a hit, which is very good. Very, very good entry point now for the year 2026. So Access Holdings. And what's the catalyst? What do we think will drive this price? We're setting a price target of 26.65. Currently, it's at 20.5. Okay, it's not much. I know Access can achieve this target, can be hit easily, with ease. Execution of capitalization plan. Yeah, capitalization is due. The deadline for recapitalization of the banking sector is March. Yeah, that's the deadline the Central Bank of Nigeria has set. All right. That at the end of this deadline, any bank that has not met or achieved the new capital base or minimum capital requirement, we have their license removed. their board of directors dissolve. That's it. So I see Access Bank. Access Bank will scale that hurdle. They're going to scale that hurdle. So that is not, it's a given. It's non-negotiable. They have raised the capital already. They have closed capital raising towards that already. So that is going to be a catalyst driving. So once any bank that's scaled through that at deadline presents a very good investable business case, right? Yes, because market sentiment, market sentiment, fear will be removed. We are just studying fear today. So fear among investors will be removed about which bank will lose their license, which bank will not make it post-consolidation or post-recapitalization. All right. Access Bank is going to make it post-recapitalization. Plus, the price is very low at the moment. This is very cheap. This is very cheap. If you don't buy, if you don't want to, don't look at this price as cheap. I don't know how cheap you want a company, because it's actually a big bank that pursued massive mergers and acquisition and acquire so many subsidiaries, right? Back, left, right. And they have robust earnings as well. They have robust earnings. Earnings are great. So that's it. Next is MTN. Yeah, MTN is better late than never to play catch up, because right now they are doing well. Tariff increase, telecom tariff has been increased in 2025. All right. And their revenue, average revenue per subscriber is growing. So we expect that to continue to grow because of the tariff increase in tariff that they have secured from Nigerian government. Demand for data is going to expand. These are going to be the catalysts that will drive this stock. So we are not looking at much from them, but we expect currently is at 531. We expect it will hit 690. In the next leg of bull run in the Nigerian stock market, MTN is going to hit 690. And that's a 30%. That's not, we're not asking for too much. It's 30%. That is basic, is the given from the catalyst we have seen here is given. And then back to this stock, back to Honeywell flour mills. If you look at the stock market in Nigeria, there is not any other flour mill that is public. There's one. Yeah, there's one in northern Nigerian flour mill. But it's expensive compared to this stock, Honeywell. And if you look at Honeywell, they were loss-making. At a point, even in 2025, they were in deep losses. And they moved out of loss. All right. So fundamentals are just resetting from loss-making to profit-making. So we believe that they're going to sustain profitability turnaround. They're undergoing a turnaround, profitability turnaround. So the profitability turnaround is going to be sustained in the year 2026. The management will sustain profitability turnaround. And we believe that their flour mill is actually the best flour mill in Nigeria. And even in African shops in Europe and in America, if you go, you see Honeywell flour mill. And it's actually the best, honestly. So that demand is going to, we're expecting that staple demand, the demand for staple consumer demand to continue in the year 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, at the current price of 17.75 naira, that is a massive bargain. That's cheap. That is cheap. Moving to 23.9 or 24 naira, it is very easy fit. This stock is going to achieve that with ease. And we're looking at 35% return on investment. Okay. And next is CHIP. CHIP is coming back here again. Yeah. Because the company has impeccable fundamentals, impeccable, clean fundamentals. And, fundamentals, at the end of the day, it boils down to fundamentals. It boils down to fundamentals. That is the only trusted, bankable, reliable stable investment justification. All right. When the fundamentals are there, rain will fall, sun will shine, the roof will shake, it stands. The company will perform. All right. The stock price will perform. So these guys have very solid fundamental. And in the coming year, we are expecting that they will continue to get more contracts of services for environmental remediation and cleaning. All right. As the oil and gas industry in Nigeria continue to expand and receive more investment. More investment has come into Nigerian oil and gas. More activities are happening there. More pollution and need for their services to clean up those polluted and restore land and sites after projects. More of that demand will be coming. And look at it, price has reset thanks to recent market correction. All right, the price has reset down to 12.5. We're looking at the target of 16.25. It's not big at all because at a point, this stock was hovering around 17, 16.5, 16.68, 17, or 17 points above before the correction. All right. So let's take advantage of the correction now. And we're looking at 30%. All right. Into the new year. And then we have another company called Learn Africa. So Learn Africa serves the education sector in Nigeria. They are a publisher. All right. So we're looking at stable educational demand, higher education, primary education. They are a leading publisher. All right. And their dividend yield will be supporting valuation. That's why we're looking at it in the 2026. And selling at 6.5. It's quite cheap at the moment. Our target price is 8.45 per share. And that will translate to a return of 30%. All right. So we are very consistent on 30% in Nigeria because of the nature of the market and the nature of the investors there that invest in Nigerian stock. They are kind of conservative. They don't like valuing the stock high. All right. They're careful with valuation. They're valuation sensitive investors that crowd Nigerian stocks. So we are just looking at picking, targeting, and actualizing our 30% profit. So Multiverse, there's a mining stock called Multiverse. All right. So Multiverse does a lot of solid mineral exports. All right. They mine gold and other minerals for export. So what we expect will happen in 2026 is that the solid mineral export push, they're going to be pushing to export more. And remember, there's what we call rare earth. There's a competition to show up and store rare earth minerals by the US and China. I think they had serious altercation and the market reacted. Then they paused and gave themselves one more year window, kind of a moratorium, right? The US, Donald Trump, and Xi, President Xi of China. So 1 year, this 1 year, what they are going to be using is basically to stockpile, to buy, import, and stockpile these minerals. So the demand for minerals, rare earths, we're expecting it to rise in the year 2026 astronomically. Okay. So currently this stock is at 12.15. We're looking at 15.79. That's 30% return. So Multiverse mining. Yeah, we're recommending Multiverse mining. And it's a buy now. It's a buy now. It's a buy now. Because their fundamentals are also very solid fundamentals, moderate